everyone, and welcome to Gamers Breakfast with your hosts SkojSkull and Jalbagel, and we got our special guest today, Herny. What's up, man?
Guys? What up?
How we doing? Oh my goodness.
Good.
So,
thanks for having me.
of course.
Yeah.
We had you on Free to Podcast a while ago, but I'd like to reintroduce you in a way. So, the first who don't know Herny, he is a musician, Monster Hunter creator, I like to call you. He also plays a lot of Splatoon. And what is your go-to game right now, aside from Sunbreak, because everyone's addicted?
yeah, right. No, honestly, and we'll definitely talk about this more into the podcast, but honestly, if I'm not streaming, I'm really not gaming. I've not been
feel that
super in a gaming mood, which is why I was so happy about Sunbreak, reinvigorate. I was joking with my friends. I'm like, dude, I'm not a gamer anymore, man. I don't know. If I have free time or I got something, I'm just going outside and hiking. I'm becoming an adult.
Not gaming.
What was that? What was that word?
What was outside?
Out what?
I'm touching grass.
That's where the groceries are. Got it.
But, just order those to my house now.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's brilliant. Oh.
But no, definitely Sunbreak. Honestly, Elden Ring was a lot of fun. I'm about to do a second playthrough of that. I've been playing Bloodborne because Elden Ring obviously kind of inspired me to try the rest of the FromSoft games.
Hell yeah!
You mentioned Splatoon. I'm gonna hit that up once it's September. I think it comes out pretty soon.
The demo thing is out today.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I think
there's a play test today.
Oh,
and it's like a Splatfest too.
Okay.
Well, it's like a Splatfest too. Yeah.
I might hit that up actually.
It's gonna be sick.
Honestly, that'll be my rotation of games, at least for the foreseeable future.
Oh no, August
Hell yeah.
25th. So in a few days.
Oh, soon. Nice.
Oh,
nice.
August 25th.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I lied.
Splatoon 3 Splatfest world premiere.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, excuse me. The download started today. The Splatfest is actually on next weekend, August 27th, which I was actually considering picking up because I love Splatoon games, but I'd never gotten way deep into them because Monster Hunter's always there.
I've never played one. I never played
so
one.
Fun.
My girlfriend, she's been talking nonstop about Splatoon. She loves Splatoon, so it's just so she's dragging me into it.
Hell yeah! It's just good,
it's fun.
Silly fun. Yeah, It's always a good time. And if you're a really competitive person, if you like the competitive side, I'm not super competitive in that sense and with PvP, but I found the ranked for Splatoon a lot of fun. I made it to S plus and stuff because I was just addicted. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, because I remember I picked up Splatoon on the Wii U when it first came out, me and my friend, and we were
when it first came out.
Yeah, it was in the Wii U. I was in college.
That was the first one.
Recent then.
Recent?
Well, I mean, what year did it come out?
It came out 8 years ago.
Yeah,
yeah, that's recent. Compared to other game franchises that
in the greater scheme of SkojSkull's long life.
Oh my, yeah. That's right, I forgot he's only a play or something.
No, but I mean, I would say recent because just there's a lot of other game franchises that have been out for 20 plus years. Pokemon, Mario.
Sure. I see what you're saying. It's a young franchise.
It's an instant classic.
In the grand scheme of Nintendo franchises, sure, it's relatively young. 8 years for 3 games though is a track record.
Season series by now, yeah. It definitely hopped into the thing, and for the most part, a lot of people Splatoon is one of those games where you can kind of be a fan of it and not play it. People like the art, people like the style of the game, and some people I dig the music. Some people meme on it because it's just noise.
Good.
But did you hear the music that they played in the Nintendo Direct for it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh
so
my
good.
Gosh, it slaps.
Listen, I'm a fan of Splatoon music. I don't know what they're saying,
amazing.
But yeah.
Is it on Spotify?
It's K-pop, but underwater.
There's covers of it on Spotify, but I don't think
how do you cover Splatoon? Sorry.
It's just covering any other music. It's still music and then noises.
Yeah. They just replaced the noise with a synth or something. Yeah. The cover's actually pretty solid, dude.
That's sick. I can't wait to play it because it's I'm not much for PvP games, but it seems like a more fun side of things when it comes to PvP because it seems like they have a weapon for everyone. where it's just like if you're bad at aiming,
now they do.
Now you can use like a roller and just smack people with it or something. And now a longsword apparently.
Yo, honestly, and like even if you like the default, I guess like is PvP, but you don't have to play rank. Like you can just play turf wars and like the normals like of Splatoon, like the quick play as it were of Splatoon is a lot of fun. Like you can just mess around like for hours and not have it go towards any rank or point system or anything, which is cool.
That's cool.
The other thing that I've always liked about the games, because in both Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2 they've included like a story campaign, and I love those.
It's actually really fun. Yeah,
they are so good. Splatoon 1's like story was top notch, a lot of fun, an absolute blast. Splatoon 2's slaps. Like that, the entire like story campaign of that was just so good and just so well thought out. But the cool thing about it is,
the Octo expansion too.
Does it like get heavy?
No, well, so like it's a fun story because it gives you more like background into like this world and like the characters that they like to focus on. Like Splatoon 2 gave more story on Mari and Callie, right, which were the two from Splatoon 1, but they like more or less got replaced by two new characters, and so that's how they are like rotating them around. And I really like that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
There's always like two idols, like pop stars, essentially, that like host the game to the player, which is pretty cool.
It's really
like
neat.
Aesthetically, it's just a funky game. Like it's cool.
What I always liked about the story part of it though is that it's like a third person like shooter like turf war game, but the story of it is a puzzle platformer, which was so cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It makes for an awesome speed run, by the way.
I was gonna say, like I'm not too big on speed runs of full games, which I definitely want to talk to you about, a bagel. But if there was a few games that I ever considered speed running, like I would definitely try Monster Hunter. I remember Shepard was trying to get me to speed run World, and he's like, "Come on, we need more people." And I was like, "I'll try it eventually." He's like, we need knowledgeable players that are like also solid at the game, like you fit the bill. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll try it." I never did. Sorry.
It's a long
World's not an easy one to start.
Yeah.
No. Especially back then when you guys were talking about it, because pre-cutscene skip, pre-defender gear. You know, we didn't have Iceborne adjustments, we didn't have Clutch Claw, we didn't have wall bangs, we didn't have Tenderize, none of that stuff.
Right.
Like, the game was like a 5-hour long speed run, 6 hours casually.
Yeah,
you know?
and I had like he sent me all the notes, like I had a bunch of like video references, but I do want to try the Rise speed run. Looks like a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And then as you said, like the Splatoon speed run, it looked really cool when I watched it at GDQ.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, man.
Those ones are so cool.
That sounds so cool. I mean, well, we're kind of like bouncing around everywhere, but
for sure, yeah.
No,
let's dial it in.
Where how you want to introduce yourself? Like, I don't know if I introduced yourself pretty well, but how would you call yourself?
Well, thank you for the introduction. I think you were spot on. But yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good.
For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Henry. I've been in the Monster Hunter scene for a minute, both as a fan, and then eventually as a content creator and streamer. I do play a couple of other games, but obviously my heart and soul is always going to love Monster Hunter. And I am a musician. I'm a music teacher. I'm an audio engineer. And as of lately, I've been playing in the scene with a couple of different bands. So if you're in the tri-state area, maybe you'll catch me. I've actually run into, this is crazy. I've run into people who are like, "Yo, are you Herny?" At like
really
at like PAX or E3, like at a gaming thing.
Yo,
that's the right word. But
yeah,
I was playing a show in Union City, and then I was at another show, and both of those people came up to me and they're like, "Do you like have a YouTube channel?" And I'm just like, yeah. And they're like, "Oh my God, like I watch you." And then they like pull up their phone. So I've like run into people who know me at like music shows, which is crazy to me. Like, cause at least at like a gaming thing, I'm like, all right, there's other gamers here. But yeah, just running into like fellow community members or just fans of the game or fans of me, which is crazy at a show, has been wild. But it's happened like in 3 separate occasions, which is super cool. And then my friends will be behind me joking like, "Oh snap, celebrities!" I'm like, "Shut up."
That's sick though.
But yeah,
that is awesome. I mean, like even like talking on that, right? Like I've watched like even before like I started streaming and like really figured out like what the content creation sphere was. Like I used to watch like your Monster Hunter videos and like
awesome.
all the other
Thank you, man.
all the other like veteran Monster Hunter creators, right?
We're like the early crew.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that you say that because like I've definitely like as a result of my music and stuff, I've definitely taken a step back from like being at the forefront of Monster Hunter. I definitely think there's like super solid creators that come to mind for me before I even think of myself. But a lot of people will tell me like, dude, you're one of the OGs, and like, which honestly I think that's a huge compliment because there's some super solid YouTubers now, and streamers. So when people tell me that they still like consider me up there, I'm just like, dude, thank you so much, because I like low key I haven't even really been doing stuff for like the better part of a year. I'm gonna be coming back to content creation semi regularly in the fall. So that's like a little update for anybody watching. But no, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. If you want to see Monster Hunter or just any game and you like my vibe and you like good music, come on through to my channel and stuff. But check these guys out as well because they're incredible.
Also,
I appreciate
they already know
it.
us,
dude. Like I just want to say that I want to hype you up for a little bit because you your presence on social media is pretty crazy because it's just like you can disappear for as long as you want, but like whenever you come back you can like you have that audience just there. You have like,
that's what my friend says, a
core audience. It's crazy. So I just want to say like to get to the point where you're at, like that's nothing to laugh at. That's crazy. So
I appreciate it, man. That takes time too, because like you were on that grind like early on, like when you were making
I used to be in the try hard mode. Yeah.
And like it shows that like even establishing it like years ago, it's still holding up today, in some sort of capacity.
And I will say for both of you guys and for anyone watching, like, and I've been pretty candid with my community about it. Like when I was in that try hard mode, it's very taxing. And I think that's why I admire people who go so hard, whether it's streaming or videos, speedrunning. Like no matter what you're doing, if you're doing it at 100% consistently, it is a lot. And like I was in college as well. I was also working like 2 jobs. Like, and I look back on that version of me and I'm just like, how the heck did I do that? But I also recognize that it wasn't entirely healthy. No. And despite obviously finding an incredible community and people who supported me, I definitely recognize that like it was not sustainable in the way that I was doing it. I think kind of now I'm ready to be try hard again, but in a much healthier context, as opposed to back then where I was like not sleeping. I would be like, I won't eat because I'm like, this video comes first, and like that's not the way to go about it. Definitely gotta, like, that's how I used to be. Like the priority of it was like very warped and not good. So I do, like, it's interesting because I do look back on it in a bittersweet way. Like I do think back, I'm like, oh, if I stayed that consistent, I would be even bigger. But in the greater scheme of things, these imaginary numbers, guys, it's not worth it. Like your health comes first. Your health comes first, and then honestly, if you put you first, and it's gonna come through in your content. Like you're gonna put out better stuff. Absolutely. You're gonna be happier, and then like your community will feel it. Like if you're happy, your community can like kind of feel it through you. So for you guys, for anyone watching, like definitely take care of yourself first. Go hard. Be in your bag and everything, but take care of yourself first, and then go hard. Because if you flip it around, it's not gonna like benefit you in the long run.
Yeah, no.
That's my TED talk.
No, but that's the kind of stuff that we like talking about. The kind of like breaking down that stigma in content creation, that like mental health isn't important, and then like the grind focus is the only focus. Like that's just all like lies and all fallacies and all that stuff, right? It's like one of the things I always say. It's like the Twitch subreddit is the worst place to go to for advice because they tell you literally every day thing
and like all the time.
If you aren't streaming, you aren't gonna make it, and if you're streaming for money, you're a greedy pig. And it's like, oh my gosh, these people suck.
It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation.
Exactly. It's insane. No, but so like, and that's like one of the things, like identifying that like the grind set like is real, but you still got to take care of you. Like that's
100%,
like super important. We, you know, physically, mentally, emotionally, you know, financially, like all of those things are real. Like I always hate seeing like other creators go like, all right guys, I got to, you know, take off a couple of streams, like work's picking back up and it's going to be busy and I'm going to be working. It's like, we'll be here. Don't worry. We're gonna do. You do you. You know, you do what's got to keep you alive. Like, I mean, I run into moments like that where I'm working 60-hour weeks and out in the field every day, and it's just like, guys, I don't have the energy for it today.
I mean, like, oh, sorry.
No, you first.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, figuring out that balance is like very difficult as well, because like I'm still trying to figure out that balance. I'm gonna be real. Like, there's a lot of times where it's just like, should I just 100% focus on YouTube and just like continue going with that, or should I should I balance that with Twitch and like try and keep that balance? And there's a lot of times where, like, even now, like I'm struggling trying to find what I should do and what I shouldn't do, and
drop both and focus on TikTok, man. I see those TikTok numbers.
Dude, right? Okay, I've read so many threads just this week on other creators being like, if you're not on TikTok, you're literally throwing right now. And it's 100% true. But like,
we're doing great on TikTok. Like our podcast, I know. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh. And like, for the kind of content that we're putting out on there, like it's two random dudes talking to another random person about some random topic, usually Monster Hunter, in 30 seconds, and it has, you know, 5,000 likes, or like 5,000 or 12,000, you know, views on it or something like that. And it's just like, people watch this stuff. Like, that's super weird.
Yeah, dude, it's such a powerful platform, and like as someone who's been getting more involved in music, I honestly need to hop on it more for music stuff, because I have found incredible musicians on there. I think it's a great way to share music, and gaming, music, dancing, carpenting, like anything.
Who's the guy? I know you know exactly who this is. He does like 80s funk, but video game music.
Wait. He's the he plays bass music.
Like yeah, he plays the bass.
He plays the bass. He's exploding on Twitter. I don't know his name.
He explodes everywhere. Because I found a TikTok of his once. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then like 4 friends sent it to me because I don't go on TikTok. And the one time that I did, I got recommended that. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then like 4 friends sent it to me, and then it was all over my Twitter. I was like, oh my gosh,
he did.
This is insane.
He's a fantastic musician. Great bassist.
Holy shit,
he's crazy.
He did an intro for like a podcast called Trash Taste, where like they did their 100 episode anniversary they did, and it was he played the intro for that. Like, that was that. I was like, I listened to it, I'm like, oh, this sounds sick. And I was like, wait, I recognize this like play style. And then like it was him. I was like, holy shit. Oh my gosh.
No, he's great. No, all of that to say that this machine that we're all trying to navigate is intense. And like it could be a lot. It's just like, oh damn, I should have made at least 1 TikTok this week. Oh shoot, but I didn't stream. And like, oh, am I gonna finish this video? And like, it can be a lot. So I'll say it. I said it before, but I'll say it again. But yeah, like, if you're managing all that stuff, if you're a creative out there, definitely pace yourself, be patient with yourself, because it's like a lot of stuff. And really, there's no right or wrong answer. You could go fully hard on YouTube. You could micromanage all 3. You could do like a healthy divide where you do one or the other. There's really like no right or wrong way. We've seen like all strategies succeed. We've seen people ditch everything, focus on TikTok. We've seen people like, they start on YouTube, ditch it completely, stream full time. It's like, there's like a bunch of things, and I feel like sometimes the multitude of options is also overwhelming. It is, because like there's so many paths you can take.
Because I like stopped posting on TikTok for a while now, and like it's still getting followers. I have no idea why. It's weird. But I definitely think like I need to think about where to prioritize things and figure out where to go, because like I'm working a full-time job. Trying to balance life, and I'm getting into working out now, so it's like the grind now. So trying to figure out how to balance like everything is a lot. So I think at some point,
the other part to that too is like, you need to give it time.
Yeah.
You know, like you need to develop a plan, you need to execute it, and you need to see if it's going to work for you, or if you can even keep up with it, or if it's affecting your numbers, whatever it may be, right? But you need to keep doing it. And this isn't like a jab at you, Skoy, but also a lot of the times I'm talking directly to
no, it's you.
a lot of the times we as creators we want to see that instant gratification, that instant pop, that instant blow up, but that's not how this stuff works. The algorithms are not designed.
Sometimes you get lucky, but
that's
one if you get lucky.
Billion.
Exactly. Yeah.
But to really like work the algorithm, you got to play the game, which is daily uploads, you know, or every other day uploads, weekly uploads. I'm pretty sure it's like 3 a week, something like that. I don't know. For YouTube,
really?
Oh, it's like
See, the
optimal exactly, but like the optimal like algorithm, you know, like whatever is like 3 videos a week of a certain length, and they have to do like certain numbers for the algorithm to keep pushing them. Like there's hundreds, thousands of videos, people like trying to like dissect the algorithm and like, you know, talk about like what works on there. But legitimately, like it all just comes down to time and like consistency and effort. So like even like for me, in July, beginning of July, I switched from a 4-day schedule to a 5-day schedule on Twitch. Then that's been a lot, right? Streaming 5 days a week, at least 4 hours each day, and sometimes anywhere between 8 and 16 hours on Saturday.
Have you seen a difference in that?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's weird because I was coming right off of GDQ. Yeah. So like I changed the schedule right after GDQ. I knew what I was doing. I wanted to
like ride that wave.
I'm going to say it. I wanted to grab that audience that was now following me off of GDQ, so I wanted to give them the optimal chance to catch me. I remember when I came back from GDQ, I streamed 9 days in a row. Because I streamed Saturday, that Sunday, that Monday, I streamed 9 days in a row, and it was insane.
Wait, holy shit!
You know, and like numbers aside, right? Like I generally do like 40 or a 50 or 60 average, and all of July was 110. It was insane. It's awesome.
But also good shit.
Yeah,
no, right?
That's good.
And like for me, that's insane. That's higher than I did when I did my partner push. So that's insane to me. You know, and
the partner thing is also so crazy.
The partner thing is stupid, and that's another topic.
That stresses me out too.
It's gonna be me bitching about partner program for an hour and a half. But the thing is though, is that like I identified that and I said, okay, that seemed to work, but I have to keep testing it. And so I'm still doing the 5-day schedule for all of August and all of September. I'm actually gonna do it for the rest of this year. And then at the end of this year, I'm gonna go, does it work? Nice, you know, does it work with me? Does it work with my schedule? Does it work with my living arrangements? Does it work with my mental health? And and all of that combined, and you know, you got to give it time, right? Because like you make like the smallest change and it could be the thing that you need, but a lot of people don't stick with it. They like do it for a week and they're like, well, I didn't really see a change. It's like, okay, keep you got to keep
trying.
You got to keep doing
exactly
it. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's all about managing your expectations and keeping it consistent. And then, you know, when you try things, do it for a long time. That's my TED talk.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. I'll call myself out. Like sometimes I'll have an idea and I'll try out the idea and I'm just like, yeah, this is fun. And then I'm like, oh, another idea. And then I'll go do something else. Like
exactly.
I think that's the debate of most creatives. It's like, yeah, we're just like a bunch of different projects. I definitely struggle to just like stick to one thing because I just want to try it all. And I think but I think that ability right there is, you can definitely switch it from a curse to a blessing. Like if you have a bunch of ideas, great, but then just kind of commit to each one section them off. Maybe hit up this project, this idea from September to December, and then hit up this from yada yada yada. Do like a little trimester or semester type system to it. But I definitely, I don't know, I was going to just to call back to what SkojSkull was saying before, is that, I think one, that's great that you're recognizing that, you're working full time, you're working on your fitness. I think an important thing that like everyone, I think in general, I feel like the consensus has gotten healthier. I feel like everyone's kind of, the stigma behind mental health and the grind, I think is overall changing. Like the conversations are a bit more out in the open. More streamers are talking about it, more YouTubers are talking about it, and I think that's really good because it's just like, dude, we're all in this machine, like we're all struggling, so we might as well all be open about it. And I think kind of recontextualizing what it means to grind. Honestly, I think getting 8 hours of sleep is grinding. I think like because like that's necessary too. That's productive. I think going to the gym is grinding, like, well, in a literal sense, but yeah, like grinding doesn't have to be going super hard at the thing. It could also be worthwhile to fix your eating pattern and your sleeping pattern, like that. Like in the long run, that is going to help your grind anyway, so you might as well like hit that up first. And then my last thing is to the point of like, well, what do you end up doing? I think for me is like, you definitely gotta do also like just what you enjoy. Like you're not always gonna do, like sometimes you got to do something you don't like doing so that you can later do something you like doing. Like that's part of it all. But I think you do want to take into account like what you're not enjoying and what you are enjoying. Like for me, I was definitely enjoying streaming a lot more than YouTube. So I had to ask myself some questions. I mean, like, all right, like, am I enjoying this? What am I getting out of it? How is it making me feel? Because it got to the point again, like I started my YouTube channel around like a pretty negative time in my life, and so I built this weird association with that time. You know, like we build associations with things like a certain song or a certain place, whatever. Dude, it would get to the point where I would open Sony Vegas to edit and I would become stressed because I like associated editing and YouTube with like this really stressful time in my life. So the correlation was just so heavy that I could not like edit without feeling bad. So I'm just like, okay, I think I need to just take a step away from this and like take enough time where that association kind of just like fizzles away, and then I can make YouTube fun again, because it got to a point where like it was not fun. And if it's not fun and it's not my main job, then what am I doing here, you know?
Exactly.
And that was like the big reason for like my big YouTube break. I was like, I definitely just need to take a step back. Like, was it cool when my channel was popping? Absolutely. But you got to have confidence in yourself. I'm confident in myself that I can get my channel popping again. You know, I think I got the know-how and the elbow grease to get it done. But
can do attitude.
Yeah. and you know, like sometimes you feel bad. Like sometimes you're like, damn, I didn't stream enough, or I didn't make enough videos. But I think that is a dangerous path to start going on. It is. Where like you're like, dude, like it would get to the point where I would be out with friends and thinking about the next video. Yeah. Or you know what I mean? Like I would be like
you were obsessing about it.
Yeah.
Not like enjoying
in the moment,
it, you know?
And that's not grinding anymore. That's just like, that's a negative spiral. And like that's where I was at. And that's why I was like, I need to stop. I need to take a break and kind of like recontextualize what all this means to me and stuff like that.
No, and that's smart that you can identify that too, right? Because you need to, you know, if you are just doing it just to do it because the numbers are there and you want to air quotes succeed, you're gonna burn out, right? And like you know, Skoy and I talked about that a little bit a while ago, but you know that burnout meant like that happens, and that can happen to everyone and anyone at any time. Absolutely. For any reason. You can't stop it. It's going to happen. Yeah. And so identifying it is super important, especially like you said, it's not your main grind. Yeah. You need to be on your main grind because, you know, we live in the world that we live in, and we need to be able to support ourselves and keep ourselves alive and afloat. And
everything balances each other out.
Absolutely. And for a lot of us, that isn't content creation. And that's the thing sometimes you got to focus on. You got to take care of yourself so you can do that.
Yeah. In order to do one thing, you need to balance out the other things too. You can't just focus on the one thing and not eat, kind of thing. So
and that's what I was going to talk about too, because like I mean, feeling bad for like not doing something. I'm there. I record every single stream that I have because that's the only content that I really make, right? So I want to make sure that I have a local recording of all of that shit. Right. I have 3 months of VODs saved on my computer that I've done nothing with. I've uploaded like a couple of speedruns onto YouTube, but like 2 weeks ago, like I was out in the field every day, waking up at like 5 a.m. and getting home at 6:30, and then still streaming, and then and then getting off a stream and being like, okay, this video needs to go out, and then me clicking in my brain, no, it doesn't. Go to bed. You have to be up at 5 again.
Nice. Yeah.
So I mean, like
sometimes you got to do that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the grind set was still there, but it was just kind of like sometimes you got to make some concessions. You gotta do at least what's healthy for you right now, because you have to go to work tomorrow. There is no choice.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
We're hitting that real stuff.
Yeah.
Anime. No, I'm playing.
no, but that's what I was gonna say. It's like as good as this conversation is, I think we are just kind of like, you know,
it's important to have
beating the grind horse conversation. I was trying to be clever. It didn't work.
No,
I mean, if we want to dive into this, let's dive into this. Like do you want to dive in? Do you want to do it? No, I mean, like, do you guys want to get in the deep combo?
Oh, I don't, dude. We're here to talk about anything.
I don't know.
Skoj wants to. I can tell. I mean, if you still have something to talk about it, I'm like, let's keep talking about it. But I feel like we're just kind of.
I mean, where do you feel like you're at now with everything, though?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I definitely think, and by all means, like we can talk about anything. But I definitely just wanted to just kind of be honest with where I'm at. I think that's kind of how I got on the point. Sometimes I forget how I start talking about things.
We don't know either.
I'm definitely in a way better place now. And it is interesting to kind of look back on it. Like I said before, like sometimes I do look back and I definitely recognize that had I stayed that consistent, maybe YouTube could have been my job by now. But what would have been the underlying thing there? Like maybe YouTube, I could have been doing YouTube full time, but how would I have been doing?
Yeah.
You know, would I have still been showing up for my loved ones, for my family, for relationships and stuff like that? I think it's better that I'm in a much healthier place now, because now I could try it. Like now I could try to push YouTube to a point where it's like I could do it full time, but I'm in a place now where I'm like, I'm healthier, and it could, like, if it fails, I got something else. And also if it fails, it won't like deteriorate my mental, because like if you don't have a solid foundation and you're trying it for anything full time, streaming or YouTube, and it fails, and you're not in a good spot, your whole mental state can come crumbling down, because you'll identify with your channel. Like your mental state will depend on how good your channel is doing and stuff like that. And so if your Twitch isn't doing well, if your YouTube's doing well, TikTok, etc., then you yourself, you're going to start to feel bad. But if you're in a solid spot, you got a nice foundation, and your video flops, you're like, all right, move on to the next one. Let me keep going. Like if you're in a good spot, you're able to kind of just keep trying and push forward. And I think that's where I'm at now. Like I think that's my plan for the fall. I'm gonna try YouTube, get back into the grind. If it works out and like the algorithm welcomes me back with open arms, awesome. And if it doesn't, whatever. I'm gonna keep doing my thing, keep having fun. I'm having fun with it now. Like I'm feeling the YouTube bug again, which is cool. Yeah. As opposed to before, it was like, oh, I should be making stuff. As opposed to like, I want to. Because the word want wasn't in the conversation for a long time. There was a lot of should-haves and could-haves. And that's not the best way to lead in anything that you love. Like you got to remember why you started doing the thing in the first place. Because you loved it, or like it was just fun. And that's the tricky thing with monetizing any passion. You toe that line between loving the thing and damn near hating it almost.
It's crazy though, because like all your passions are monetized. You're in a really you're in a very like cool place right now where like you're an instructor, you're a teacher for music, and you love music, and you're also a you could hop into the content creation field whenever you want, and just kind of you're in that really, I feel like you're in a great spot in your life where you can, all your passions are like
I got some open doors.
Yeah.
No, thank you. And it's funny that you say that, because I think a good thing that I've been doing, just in general, like I think the last time I was on your podcast with Jitsu and Faye, I had just started therapy. And definitely one thing that and we got deep into it.
Yeah, we did.
That was a good. It was great. It was great. We were having some real talks. But yeah, I think gratitude is very, very important. And I was literally thinking the same thing. I'm just like, I am in a good spot, and it's important to recognize where you're at, whether it's good or bad, but just recognizing where you're at, because once you know where you're at, you can see where you're going. And then but if you're kind of lying to yourself, or you're not really being honest with yourself and you're like where you are, you're gonna be lost. And I'm definitely I'm super grateful for where I'm at, just even at a basic level. Like, I'm happy to freaking be alive. Like, I got COVID like not too long after the podcast, I think, or something.
Wait, oh yeah, you did. Holy shit.
Because I'm trying to remember the timeline, but like it hit me hard, and like, dude, I was like, I'm lucky enough to say that like it was just rough, because like that's the thing with, not to get into COVID, but like you have people who like all they did was eat chicken soup and were fine, and then you have people like losing their life to it. So it was the discrepancy in like how people it was affecting people's lives was crazy. But like I got into a point where like I got legitimately scared. I'm just like, oh my god, because like it was getting hard to breathe. My chest was like hurting, and then you go on like WebMD, and WebMD is like you're
that's
oh no, like you go online and it's just like. And I was just like,
you have some West African disease, man. You got to figure that out.
This is before. Was this before vaccination?
This was before vaccination. Yeah. I got hit with it. I got hit with it like my appointment to get vaxxed was like a week away, and then I caught it. Yeah. But all of that to say is that like, sometimes gratitude is as simple as like, yo, I'm freaking alive today. Like, I'm healthy today. You can start there. Like let's say life sucks. Sometimes just make your circle really tight. Like, are you good? Are you alive? Yeah, you're here. There you go. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm enjoying work. I'm enjoying the presence of the people around me. And then you can start expanding. But to tie that back into what I was saying, I think where I'm at right now, I think after all of that happened, and just during like streaming during the pandemic, I definitely got like a lot more open with my community, because I think that was like the turning point for me. Like before then I was still like on my grind set. And then I think that summer I had a lot of like just chatting streams, if either of you ever caught any of them. But a lot of my streams was just me talking, and just kind of I was like, let me just start being honest with my community. Because I think like it's really important. Obviously, honesty up to where you feel comfortable, right? Definitely got to maintain boundaries when you're an online persona. But I definitely started having just much more candid conversations with my community, with my friends, with myself, and then it's been honestly like uphill from there. And but even then, I didn't hop back into it right away, because growth is over time. Like, even though I was feeling better, I was like, not yet. Like, I'll hit this up. You know, I sprinkled some videos here and there, but they were very like non-serious and stuff like that. But I think now, where I'm at now, Twitch has been a lot of fun. I'm gonna keep doing my thing with Twitch, but I think now I'm ready to try content creation. And as I said before, I know now that win or lose, if there's even a win or a losing in this situation, like I'm not nervous or worried about it, because I know that no matter the outcome, I'm gonna be fine. If my videos do well, I'm gonna be fine. If they don't do well, I'm gonna be fine, because I'm fine in general, and I'm doing good. And now I just know that it's just a thing that I want to do, and that hopefully going forward I'm gonna enjoy and stuff like that.
I feel like that's where I'm getting to as well in my life right now too, where it's just like I'm getting back into that YouTube grind now, but I'm at the point where it's just like I'm enjoying the videos I'm making. Like, it's been a lot of fun now, and I've just if they don't do well, then oh well, I'll make the next video.
And at least you liked it. Like, at least, like, even if it doesn't do well, at least you enjoyed the content that you put out, which I think is super important. Dude, I have videos of my channel, and I won't say which because I like to see what people speculate. There are a bunch of videos on my channel that I do not like. That like I made it in a way that like, yeah, this will do well. Like that's why I made it. Like I made it not because I like it, but like I knew it was a video that would do well. And it's unfortunate because lo and behold, they would do well. So they would kind of reinforce that stigma of like, oh, don't make videos I like, make videos that will do well. And like there was a point in time where I was definitely just making videos leading with that mindset. Like I would like it to some degree, but it wasn't like what I wanted to be doing. Yeah. But like I knew it would do okay, so I would go forward with it. But yeah, like going forward for me, and I'm glad that you're feeling the same way. Like bottom line, I gotta like the content I make. Like before anything else, like if I don't dig it 100%, I'm not putting it out, or I'm gonna change it until like I do really, really dig it.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like there's been like, especially with tutorial videos, like you can, if you want to grow in the Monster Hunter community, tutorial videos is probably like the easiest way to like climb up and skyrocket.
Build videos.
Yeah, build videos.
Can I tell you guys something real quick?
Yeah,
I hate build videos, man. Like not even other people's videos. Like just me, I don't want to sit and talk about. You can read what skills are on the armor set. Exactly. Why am I sitting here reading it to you? Like I feel like I'm cheating you out of content because I'm just getting some watch time to read you the skills. That's why when I would do it, I would like make a song or like do something out of it because I'm just like, if I'm gonna talk about this, like I gotta make it fun for me at least, because I'm not like, I'm looking at the script and I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like but yeah, I remember it's true those. Though, like there is like there's definitely some clear paths to success in the Monster Hunter community for sure, but then it's just like, are you gonna enjoy it? Like, and then if you are going to do it, know that a lot of people are also doing it. So you gotta add your own sauce, because if not, then like you just funnel in with the rest.
In there, yeah.
There was something though that I can't remember who told me this just forever ago.
It was me.
This was like it might, actually I don't even know if it was you. This was years ago. This was like 2 or 3 years ago, like when I first started and I was first thinking about like doing YouTube content and stuff like that, because I had said like, yeah, like the way to get into like Monster Hunter YouTube is to like do tutorials and do build videos. And I mean, everyone does that. Like, why am I gonna do that when RX and Gaijin Hunter like already do that? Like those videos gonna get watched first. But someone said something really important to me, and it kind of like tacks on to like what you said about making it your own, but it's there's nothing ever wrong with making something that already exists if in your own way, especially if you think you can do it better, right?
Absolutely.
And sometimes better doesn't mean like actually physically like you did a better job. Sometimes better just means different, you know. Like everyone learns a little bit differently, and so like for tutorials and builds, like everyone kind of takes those in a little bit differently. And you just presenting it a little bit differently might capture a new audience.
Exactly.
You know?
Definitely, yeah.
So like, even if that's something that like you enjoy doing, like if you enjoy the tutorials and the builds and like you want to make that own content, like
definitely still do
like
it.
Absolutely do it. But you know, Herny's right. Like there are hundreds of those out there. You know, and there's only so many different combinations of ways that we can like talk about it. It's like, you know, making it unique and making your own is a big part of it, but also just making it yours is, I think, is like one of the bigger things. But don't let the fact that 100 of those existing, you know, don't let that stop you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because I remember when I was first getting started. So when I started with Monster Hunter Freedom, and I'm sure we'll talk about Monster Hunter. We're segueing into it.
It's happening.
Yeah. It's happening.
So I had been playing Monster Hunter for a minute. I didn't really come across the idea of making videos until I found Kanta, actually.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And like I think I had found other small channels of like runs, but in kind of informal runs. Like it was like not a speedrun per se, but it was just like, here's a video of me killing this thing. And I remember I had made a YouTube channel for fun, and all of the videos are hidden now. But I had a bunch of like Team Fortress 2 videos, and like Left 4 Dead, and it's so funny because
release them,
dude. They were up there for a while. I didn't unlist them until I started taking things more seriously. But you would see people go to my early videos, and they're like, "Oh snap, he's been gaming since back then." It's really funny. Yeah.
Oh no.
It's really funny. But I think it was like after Kanta where I was like, oh, like, hey, I'm pretty good at Monster Hunter. And I have this channel that's just been lying around here because I made it and it was just like for fun and like using fraps to record me and my friends.
Oh
playing.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then I remember I got a capture card 3DS, freaking Katsu Kitty. That thing took months to get here. And then just hopped into nice. Yeah, mine's like over there. That's awesome.
I want to get another one.
But it's similar to what wait, I'm gonna just call you your name, Jeremy. It's similar to what Jeremy was saying. When I got into it, I was like, okay, well, what do you do for Monster Hunter if you're a content? And then I looked at what was present, and it was like you either made guides or you sped run. And then I was like, well, there's no point in making guides because Gaijin and Arix are doing everything. So what did my channel start with? Speedruns. Because I was like, there's in my head, I was like, there's no point in even bothering with tutorials. Mm-hmm. It's just completely dominated by these titans of channels. So I was like, I'll speedrun. And that's why I started speedrunning. I had no interest in speedrunning. But really, I was just like, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do, and I'm pretty solid, so I guess I'll try. But I didn't really care too much about speedrunning. That's why when my first video of me talking did well, I was like, oh, I don't have to speedrun anymore. And I'm like,
I can stop.
I'm free.
I was literally speedrunning. Like with a clause in the contract, like I was just speedrunning just cause. And then I think once my first video where I talked did well, I was like, oh, bet I can just start talking. Mm-hmm. And then it was like half and half. I still did a couple more runs.
Yeah.
But I was starting to kind of just talk about stuff, my opinions on monsters. I did try, like I did tutorials as well. I think one of my first tutorials that really popped off was I just explained how to use the aerial jump in generations to iframe. I was just iframe. Like, I was like, it has iframes, guys. Like, and here's how. Like, it was a basic video. The audio is terrible. I used like the mic piece of my headphones, dude. I watched some of my older videos, and I'm just like, dude. Oh my god, what is this? But dude, I must have been doing something right because people stuck around.
There you go. Yeah.
And then then I started to kind of do runs and then tutorials, but then eventually, like once the tutorial videos were just doing increasingly better, I just ditched running altogether. Because that's what people ask me, like, hey, like, why don't you run anymore? I tell them like that was never the goal. Like it was just I just did it because if you were someone, if you were new in the community back then, you did runs or you did guides. And if you did guides, like it just, and like maybe not, maybe if you did do guides, they would have like made their way through. It's not like if you post something like it's just completely snuffed out by all the other videos. Like there's a chance for it to rise up and be fine on its own. But in my eyes, I didn't see the point. I was like, well, why bother? And so I just started running.
That's what I have thought about like for years. Like you said, like there's been other videos like Super Rad, Sarah Symmetry, and like even some new content creators that are kind of blowing up right now, like Frost. There's a lot of times where I was thinking like, well, they already made that video, I can't make it now. It's just like, no, I can still make that same idea. If I like feel inspired by their video idea, go make your own. That's fun. Like it's just like put your own spin to it. Think like don't like copy what they say word for word. Like there's
on blast. Tell them their opinion's wrong. Be completely antagonistic. Start some drama online.
Like there's been like my Espinoss video where I talk about like with Hin coming in, there's a possibility for other frontier monsters to come in. Like there's been other content creators that already covered that. Like Sarah has covered it absolutely. Like Super Rad's probably talked about. I don't think he's mostly doing retrospectives now, but it's like there are other content creators that have made that video, but like yours
and
could
like
be the one that
and
grows.
low key, everything's been made already. So
Exactly.
just make it.
Oh yeah.
Everything's
Exactly.
been made because it's the
all been
same thing with music. And I was having a conversation with my students about it. I was like, what if your favorite? We were talking about specifically like hip hop and R&B, and I was like, what if like your favorite hip hop artist decided to not make music because they're like, oh well, Drake exists. and Drake is topping the charts, so why bother? Like it's and like we laugh at it, but people think the same way for YouTube. They're like, why make a video? This channel's covered it, bro. Just fucking do it. Like just go for it, and you'll have fun. And like, and if nothing else, it'll be your spin on it. And people will probably there are gonna be people who like the way you say it, and there's gonna be people, and this is the bottom line for content creation for anybody watching / listening. People are just gonna like you, like. Even like if you make a video that's like really similar to something else, there are going to be people who watch yours, not over others, like not on some comparison stuff, but like people are going to watch your video talking about it because they just like you and they just want to hear you talk about it. And low key, I got to listen to my own advice because that's what people have told me, because I've been the same way. I'm just like, like, why make a video about this? People are covering it. But then people will like directly tell me in chat, like, bro, we just want to hear you talk about it. Right. So I'm just like, oh shit, okay. And sometimes like that's the bottom line you got to remember. Like, there are people who are going to just like you for who you are. And if nothing else, just make the content because people are just going to enjoy the way you say it, the way you do it. And that is where your community grows. And like, that's where your community comes from.
Exactly. So like, if you feel like there's a big wall in front of you, there's no wall. Just go through it. Like you can.
You put that there.
You put that there. Exactly.
You literally did put that there.
That sounds so mean.
No, but like it, but like it is. Like all of the barriers that we put all the barriers that we see in front of ourselves for content creation, we put there ourselves because anyone can do this. Anyone can do it. You can do it. My neighbor down the street could decide to do this and be a bigger creator than me. Like it doesn't matter. Anyone can do it, and any barrier that you see in front of you, you probably put there. So oh well, other people are doing it, and like, oh well, I mean, people aren't going to like me as much, and these are all just perceptions that you generate in yourself, and it comes into like managing your expectations, but that's also just being pragmatic, right? Like you don't know until you try, and you got to do it. And hey, call back to earlier, you got to do it for a while. Like I streamed for nearly 2 years until I broke a 10 average. 2 years almost. It was a year. It was a year and a half until I broke a 10 average, and then just took off from there. But I got lucky.
It's crazy.
If you see no change in your content, like where it's just like if you say like you're posting videos like every day kind of thing, you're getting like 10 views per video, and you've been doing that for like a month, something's wrong there. You should definitely probably change or adjust if you want to see growth, if you want to see that type of growth. But if you're having fun, you just want to post just to post, and continue, go for it. Like
wait, so you're telling me I was doing something wrong for a year and a half having under a 10 average? You trying to tell me it wasn't? Are you trying to tell me that it wasn't Twitch putting a thumb on top of me, suppressing my content? No, like legitimately though, it was me shooting myself in the foot because I wasn't doing what Monster Hunter creators should be doing, which is like networking and collaborating within the community. It took me a year and a half to just go and say hi to another content creator. Like the first person in the Monster Hunter community to raid me was Herny a year after I started streaming.
Snap. Okay.
Yeah, and I can go back to my I can go into Twitch tracker and go to my analytics, and I always see that day. See, right? Oh yeah, I remember that day. Yeah, Herny raided me that day. That was really cool. That was a big moment for me because I was like, holy shit, Herny! Like this dude's like a speedrunning legend. I was like, oh my gosh, because he raided me. I was like,
hi.
You have no idea who I am, but I know who you are, and you're very cool. Thank you. It was so awkward for everybody. It was awesome. But
it's awesome.
It wasn't until then where I realized I need to get out of my little circle of friends where we all just kind of raid each other with the same 6 people, and we expect to see growth coming from the outside.
Meet new people.
Keep supporting each other. Yeah, exactly. I need to go and meet new people. I need to go and like network. I need to, and that was like the thing that I changed for my Twitch, and then I started seeing more viewership and more people showing up and more raids and stuff like that. And you know, it was never like the end goal. Like it wasn't like I'm gonna go farm the community, because I also met like awesome people like Skoy and like Herny and like all the other guests that we've had on this show and all the other people that come to my streams. Like I've made insane, you know, an insane number of like friends, like people that I'm comfortable and I trust, and like we can have conversations like this about.
Yeah.
But
yeah, one thing I was going to add to what you were saying is that the bottom line with all of this is luck is a huge factor. Like
it is. Oh my gosh, it is
massive factor. But I do like this. I think it's a quote. I've been seeing it a lot, but I agree. Luck is where preparation meets opportunity. So like luck is obviously a huge factor. But if an opportunity comes and you're not on top of your shit, then it's going to slip through your fingers.
Exactly.
Like with you capitalizing after GDQ, I think that's perfect. I mean, you doing fantastic at GDQ isn't luck, because you obviously prepared, but same thing, you got the opportunity. Like I was lucky enough to be able to go to PAX, and then I was able to meet Yuri, I was able to meet Socks, and I had content out because I was like going stuff. So that was definitely an example of like preparation met opportunity, and meeting Socks and Yuri was obviously helped. It helped me go to E3. I went to the Capcom dinner. Like it's just, that's how opportunities roll. But when opportunities come your way, you got to be prepared. Like the thing about like life in general is like doors are gonna open and close. You just got to be on your shit.
So you can go into the
go through, because opportunities are going to present themselves, and if you're and also that's life. I'm sure I missed a bunch of dude. I made fucking no content in World because I was depressed as hell. I was so depressed. I was struggling with my depression. I had just gone through like a really bad breakup. Like my mental health was like rock bottom, and World came out, and as you guys know, when a new Monster Hunter game comes out, that is the time to
reaction video, talk about the monster, how to beat the monster, build guides with the new monster.
Honestly, like and I did nothing. And then like I eventually like had a bit of a redemption where I popped off with Iceborne, and within literally a week of streaming it and having a crazy viewership, I don't know how it happened. Again, luck meets preparation. I had just made my stream kind of look nice and more professional right before Iceborne came out, so I guess people kind of just liked how it looked. And then I got partnered in a week, and I couldn't believe it, and I felt hella imposter syndrome because people were pushing for partner forever, and then I got it in a week, and I was like, do I deserve this and stuff like that? But then I was like, I was putting in the work. And it's not like
you had already put in the work too, because you had a solid foundation beforehand too. Like, that's the thing that people don't realize too when it comes to Twitch. Like, I used to get messages like from friends that were also like streamers, and they're like, oh, like some like random person started streaming like a week ago, and they were like already made partner and stuff like that. It's like, because they brought over a community of 100,000 subs from YouTube, and literally less than 1% of those people watched on Twitch because they advertised on their YouTube. I'm streaming on Twitch now. Even if just less than 1%. 1% of 100,000 is still 1,000. Like if less than that watches,
they're gonna
get it
immediately.
If you have a community that you built elsewhere and you bring that over, you've earned it. You know, you've capitalized on that community that exists.
Same thing happened with Super Raz. Same thing happened with Fumetto. Like they once they started
bring people over.
They bring people over, and it's like they start growing their community on Twitch, and they're able to get partnered like fairly soon. Because
you already put that work in. And it's nice that you can do that, and like Twitch recognizes that too, right? Like when you go through the whole partner process, they ask you what are your other social medias, give us your YouTube, give us your Twitter, give us your Instagram, your TikTok, all of that stuff. Give us all of it. We want to see your other platforms, where else you are, because that's going to help us decide. And so like for someone like me who doesn't have a platform, but for someone like me who doesn't have that platform, it took me a little bit longer, because I was like, I had to justify the viewership that I was getting, versus like someone else. Like it's like, yes, I have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. They're like, oh, bet you'll have 100 viewers every week then.
Purely just on the precipice that I don't even check this, but are you all partnered?
Not me, no.
I am.
Okay, yeah. I don't even fucking look at the.
It means nothing now.
Yeah.
Everybody, the goal is not partner.
It's really not.
It's not.
We have more emotes now for affiliates. Like
that sounds hella hypocritical for the fucking partners to be saying it.
But like legitimately, your only benefit, only benefit for partner right now, the only one, is the cool little check mark. Yeah, okay, cool. Being recognized, that's neat.
More
guaranteed transcoding options.
Oh,
okay, yeah, guaranteed transcoding options. That's really nice. It's really nice. I don't have to worry about that ever. I don't have to play transcoding roulette, right? I'm just always in 1080p 60 FPS. I love that. That's great. And you get a discount on your TwitchCon ticket.
Do you really?
It.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, man. That's 50% off, boy.
Oh my God.
You're still going to spend $1,000 getting over there, and you're going to spend all of that money 6 months in advance when they announce it, but they don't announce, the ticketing process or their health
regulations,
standards and regulations. Right. And so you're going to spend all of this money on an Airbnb and a flight from Florida to California, which, by the way, one of my flights was just canceled, so I had to figure that out.
Damn.
Yup.
There's one happening Alaska Airlines. Recent, right?
Well, so Amsterdam happened last month.
Yeah.
And then we're having TwitchCon San Diego in October. Mm-hmm. So I've already spent all of this money. And I'm like, okay, cool. Now to buy the TwitchCon ticket, and they're like, oh yeah, masks are required. I doubt they enforce it.
TwitchCon is every year.
Yes. Well, it used
to be, but yeah.
They're going to start
since bringing it back.
Okay. Yeah. So, but yeah, they do one in the States and they do one in the UK in Europe.
Word. All right, I'm gonna come through for one of these. I'm
thinking next year's is gonna be better.
Mm-hmm.
Just hands down.
Absolutely.
A lot of people were kind of already on the fence about the Panini and how COVID was gonna handle that, and or how TwitchCon was gonna handle that. COVID. My brain's not right. But
you're good.
we were already on the fence about that too when they announced the initial health stuff. They're like, masks aren't required, but strongly recommended. It's like, not a single human being is going to do this. We aren't going. And then they're like, oh, we heard you. Masks are required. And then some gigantic streaming names, are like, no, masks are dumb. We aren't doing that. We're going to make our own TwitchCon with COVID and sneezing in each other's mouths. Like, okay, sure, man. You guys go do that. I'm still not going.
God damn.
Yeah, dude, so we're gonna go hang out in the San Diego Zoo instead.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a few cool places.
One thing I will say is that I definitely, once it gets truly, safe regulation wise to do, because it's been crazy. It's been fucking. We've been in this shit for like 2 years essentially, more actually.
3,
but soon to be 3.
Yeah, the Festa was so fun, and it made me realize how much more in-person Monster Hunter events we need. It was so fun, and it was just so cool seeing everyone, because it was really cool. Like,
that was when I really got to know you.
Yeah, you came. Fucking yeah, like, dude, everyone, like, so many people came, and that was like one of the most memorable things of 2020, and it was right before the pandemic really hit, literally right before. I think a week later,
2020, and then a week later, or excuse me, it's January 2020, because I remember, because I was gonna go. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have known anyone. I would have shown up there and been like standing there, like wearing my Monster Hunter hat and holding my DS, like holding my Switch, like, you guys play Monster Hunter?
It's just like, I'm gonna be on your podcast at some point.
Dude,
like, what?
No, but I really wanted to go to it. Mm-hmm. And then, like, literally a month later, they're like, we're shutting down the entire country, the entire world, actually.
It was crazy down, because it was like, that was why the devs weren't there.
That's why they didn't come.
That's why they didn't come, and everyone else was like, fine, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, everyone was like, what? Yeah, because that's right, they were supposed to come and then like sign something for the winner of the tournament, take some pictures, pictures with anyone, not just the winners. And I remember, they pulled out. They didn't cancel the event, of course, and like everything was fine. It's just everything was the same except they didn't come.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking like, COVID is because I remember like it was like, oh, COVID is in California, and I'm like, okay, it's way over there. We're fine. Yeah. And then right before PAX, it was like first case of COVID in New York, and I was like, oh shit. It's in home territory now. Oh, but we should be fine. And then literally, a week later, just shut everything down.
Yeah, but New Hampshire, it's fine. New York's over there.
But dude, definitely want to go to more stuff. Want to like just meet you guys in person, meet everyone. Because there was definitely like a common circle of crew. Like I've hung out with Omni Toad and Shepard on several occasions. Sammy, Hot Sammy Sliz. John, Mike, Wyverian. I just call him Mike. Because they're all, well, those homies are just here in New York. Freaking Coco is in New York. For some reason, I thought Coco was from Texas. I don't know why I thought this. And then
he does give off that vibe.
I don't know where I heard. I don't know why specifically Texas. I just thought he was in Texas. Then he's like, no, homie. He's like, I'm in Long Island, bro. I was like, what the heck? So, so we, like, me, him, Pecco, and like 2 others joined. We just had like a little New York hangout. That was a lot of fun. But there's like a lot of local peeps. So I've hung out with a good number of them in person a couple times. But the festa was so cool because like everybody came through.
And that was nice for you guys. That was close for you because that was Boston, wasn't it?
It was Boston, yeah. That time I just took a mega bus up. But dude, I mean, and that was surreal because like, you know, I like, despite whatever accolades people will attribute to my name, I just consider myself like a huge nerd and a huge fan of the game. But I felt like a celebrity on that night.
Vibe check.
Like,
a meme was born from that.
Dude, it was like, people were coming up to me to like take pictures, and I was like, what is going on?
It's a reality check.
Dude, it's
so like, that's
cool.
how much influence you had in this community, you know? Like, and that's insane. And like like opportunities like that and moments like that, you know, it's nice because you get to like actually kind of see, you know, reap some recognition from it.
You get a hotel.
For sure. Dude, they paid for my stay and for my transit.
That's pretty sick.
Because they were like, did you already get a megabus? And they were like, yeah. And they're like, oh, well, we'll reimburse you for that. And I was like, what? Well, I will say, Capcom, and like, just Capcom is super great with like doing stuff. Like now having done kind of 2 events with them, obviously the Festa being a bigger one, they're fantastic. And like anyone who's part of the Capcom Creator Program, you guys like can see it. Like they're great. But yeah, that was really and another thing where preparation meets opportunity. I remember they announced the tournament, and then I was like, oh, like, let me join it. Because here I was still kind of in tryhard mode for this. And I was like, oh, let me join the tournament and win. Because like then it's just gonna be a big shout out to my channel and stuff like that. But then I had the fucking galaxy brain thought. Wait,
what if I become the host?
Yeah, instead of I'm not even kidding. I was on the way home from work, and I was like, instead of participating in the tournament and maybe even getting into the finals, because like really only people who were in the finals got to be on stream because there was a lot of really good players there. And I was like, wait a second, like, maybe I can just try and commentate it, because I remembered an issue that people had is that they just had kind of randos commentate the last one. Like they didn't have Monster Hunter players commentate it, so they weren't super knowledgeable what was happening. And in their defense, like Monster Hunter, like you understand that we're just hitting a big dragon on the head, but there's like a lot of things going on.
We hit him really hard. It's
like and fully in their defense, if you don't know what's going on, it kind of looks like a mess. It's hard. So I was
commentating
like,
Monster Hunter tournaments, definitely a difficult thing. Holy.
Oh wait, didn't you guys?
Me and Knight. Yeah.
I was out of town. Yeah. Knight wanted
participated.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Knight had messaged me, but I was gonna be in the fucking Poconos. But yeah, it's a lot of things are happening. You're micromanaging a lot of stuff on screen. But yeah, I was like, and this is not so much. I mean, it's also like preparation opportunity, but this is also just put your have confidence in yourself and put yourself out there.
Don't be afraid. The worst thing to say is no.
Dude, I didn't even email this. I slid it to his DMs. I slid it to his DMs, mad informal, and I was like, but at this point I had like dinner with Yuri, you know, like so like I definitely was closer to Yuri and Socks and stuff like that.
They know you, yeah.
They knew me. Like we like Socks.
You could do this.
I would play games with him every now and then. Like that's just a homie at that point. But I just slid into his DMs and I was like, do you have commentators for the tournament? And if you don't, can I throw my hat in the ring? A man gets back to me and he's like, actually, we're looking for commentators. My man forwarded me to the people putting the event. Dude,
that's so cool.
He came because he was honest. He's like, it's not me, but I will send you to the people. I get in contact with the people organizing it. It was being hosted by Fandom. And
Fandom.
And then like another thing collaborating together as part of the venue. They were like, can you send us a demo reel of your previous commentating work? Now, here's the thing. This is why you gotta finesse your way sometimes, guys.
Previous, you say.
I've commentated.
Did you show me your first video? Just like when you started commentating?
Dude, here's the thing.
Oh wait.
I've commentated in the past, but I've commentated Smash and League of Legends.
Okay.
I commentated my collegiate tournaments at Seton Hall. I didn't have any of that recorded though.
Oh.
So I was like, they were like, yeah, just send us a demo reel. I was like, I got you. You know what I did? I just set myself up like an OBS, like a green screen, like me in the corner. I got, and I have this somewhere. People have asked me to see it. I just got like semi-dressed. And then I put old tournaments. I put the old Festa in the background. And then I forgot, I commentated over a speedrun of my own. I commentated a previous tournament. I commentated, I think, like one of Zebra's or Feywell's speedruns. I basically just put like 5 speedruns.
That's the best way to do it.
Non-tournament. I think I did the one where like Orochi won, the French one, and then I just commentated over it. Like I just commentated over an already commentated tournament. That's all I did, guys. That's all I did. It was like a 30-minute YouTube video unlisted. I just sent them the email with the link. Apparently they fucking loved me. And then long story short, they were like, yeah, we'd like to formally extend this offer to you. Dude, I just wanted to do it. Let me tell you, they paid, and they paid well. Wow. Just to maintain some formal professional stuff. I won't say how much, but they paid well. And then they were like,
that's great.
Yeah.
Good for
because
you.
I just wanted to do it. But then I was like, oh, word. And then they were like,
gosh.
Yeah, you're going to be co-commentating with another community member. They didn't tell me who until the final briefing meeting on Zoom. We hop on Zoom. We like our cameras are off. I turn my camera on. Literally, me and Chris from Team Darkside. We're like, oh my God, that's so sick. And me and Chris were like already homies. So we were like, how awesome was it to do it with someone I knew? Because I was like, no matter who it is in the community, like I'll probably know them, so it'll be fine. It won't be awkward. But the fact that it was Chris, dude, Chris pulled up to Boston. We were staying in the same hotel. He's hilarious, dude. He spent like $500 on Ubers. He was Ubering everywhere, even if it was like down the street. I was like, Chris, I could have taken you. And he's like, I don't know what I'm doing, man. I'm just Ubering everywhere, dude. He spent so much on Ubers.
Jesus,
but he is great company. We drank together. We danced together.
Oh my gosh,
dude, it was so fun. Like top 10 just part of being the community. Like moments, but I think that's just top 10 in life, man. Like that was just an incredible opportunity. And like, to bring this full circle, like I still just considered myself a fan, so it was completely surreal to be commentating for a game that
you love. What
felt like a couple years ago nobody even knew. Like I used to not know people IRL who knew Monster Hunter. So one, to be like a content creator for a game was already crazy, and then to just be commentating a tournament for like this niche ass game that I used to love, dude, it was super surreal being up there. It was obviously an incredible experience. I would be so down to do it again. Not like I already have the spot. I would be down to like audition again, and stuff like that. But it was so fun, and honestly one of my favorite Monster Hunter experiences like to date.
That's awesome.
Probably after all the events that I've been to before, I've been to like New York Comic Con. Like I didn't meet him, but like I saw the Arthur for Naruto on stage, which is crazy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and I like went to Boston. I think Boston Comic Con. I went to PAX, and so on and so forth. I've been to all these events, but I think like the best time I've ever had was at the Monster Hunter Fest, because it was just the fact that I could meet a lot of you guys that I've been like either kind of like, because I don't think I really watch your YouTube content. I think I watched you from Twitch. I got because it was like, that's where for me I got to know a lot of people and got to know them better. Like it was crazy. And just the fact that I could meet like a lot of you guys at the Monster Hunter Fest was wild to me, because like that was the first time. So cool. Yeah, it was amazing.
I'm never gonna forget, and I've joked about this with him. Jitsu comes up to me and he gives me a huge hug. Yeah, and I'm like, it's so good. And I had interacted with him before, the same way. I knew who you were. Like I knew who you guys were, but it was my first time meeting you in person. Jitsu, a bunch of people in person for the first time. And he's like, dude, I'm drunk as fuck, and I just had an edible, but I'm living life, and I could see it. And he was gone, but he was living life, man. I just gave him a big ass. There's a picture of me just giving him a huge hug. Somebody has it.
Dude, funny.
It was so fun, dude, and like, and then the fucking world shut down right after. So who knows when we'll have something like that again? But like that's why I'm trying to go to stuff like TwitchCon, or future PAXs. But that made me realize like. But because like Loki the Festa wasn't part of PAX.
No,
like it was just happening offsite. Yeah, so it made me realize like, dude, they need to do more of those. They gotta do more festas, more gatherings of hunters, because that was popping. Like there was so many people, and I would only imagine they would. Yeah, dude, that was dangerous.
I was gone.
That was dangerous, man.
Holy shit,
dude! Me and Chris walk off stage. Not to make this a whole fucking Festa story, but there's just so much shit. Me and Chris walk off stage. Sammy is like, why is there not a drink in your hand? And I was like, oh shit, say less. You guys know Luciano? Lucy? He also streams. He's a fellow New York homie as well.
Nice.
Sounds familiar.
He comes up, he gives me a hug, and he's like, I love to see a brown man succeed. He gives me a dude, it was dude, and like a bunch of people. Like I'm trying to think of who else was there.
Coco,
Coco was there. You were all the.
Of course, he was there.
I was there. I was in fact there.
Oh my gosh!
A bunch of speedrunners were there.
Man,
Sam Grass was there.
This is why I kick myself. This is why I kick myself over and over again, because I really wish I would have gotten into like the Twitch community so much sooner. Well, because like I said, like I started streaming in like January 2019. Like I started, my first stream was January 1st, 2019, but I didn't like really start to like get to know the community until April of 2020.
Like, I would say just go there, and like even if you have a friend that's like really
into, go now.
I would just say if you had a friend or someone that is into Monster Hunter, bring it with you.
And I was gonna do that. Yeah, I was trying to convince one of my friends like locally to come with me, but like, hey, let's go to Boston for a thing that I care about and for something that you only tangentially care about. Let's go spend a couple $100s to go do this for a weekend was a hard sell.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, it would have been different, right? Because now I'd walk up to one of you immediately, like, and be perfectly comfortable to hang out.
I would say
then
no. I'm kidding.
I would have walked up. then I would have done what I did at GDQ, which is walked up, introduced myself, and then fucked off. Right, because like a lot of those people at GDQ, I feel really bad about that, and this is exactly why it's kind of reinforced in my mind that I need to get to know these communities better and these people better. At GDQ, there were so many people that I look up to, like as a speedrunner and a content creator, just so many people that I look up to. You know, Kizaron, J-Hobbs, Spike Vegeta, which I was so happy I got to sit down with Spike. He interviewed me before my run. So I got to sit down with Spike and like have like a real conversation with him and just shoot the shit. And it was really cool. And then like even just kind of like some mutuals like Brian Otto. And then like I got to meet Catalyst, who's a huge, you know, Elden Ring speedrunner and Dark Souls speedrunner. And all these people I am comfortable enough to like introduce myself to, but not comfortable enough to like hang out with. And so
that's pretty scary too.
I mean, it's absolutely scary. He's run someone that I've been watching for 7 years.
And he's just like, hey, you don't know me.
He's a celebrity in my brain. You know, like that's like such like a hard thing. It's like such a hard barrier to tear down because like I've literally been watching him since college. Like I used to watch him like every day. Like, oh, Kaiseron's, doing another crystal randomizer.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm there.
Awesome.
And like I subbed him for like 3 years. Like these are all people that like I idolized. Way back then. And like now I'm just kind of like,
if I can quickly ask, where are you guys at? I'm
in Florida.
New Hampshire. I'm like near you.
Word. We definitely like who knows when the next festa will be, but like I said, just at PAX's. I've hung out with people. We definitely gotta link up. Gotta do some, and also like
No, that's why we're doing TwitchCon, right? Is like we were doing it as an excuse just to meet up, right? Like
hell yeah.
Skoj and I are going with like a huge group of people, and we're literally just doing it as an excuse to meet each other. And then when TwitchCon was like, oh, no masks, I'm like, oh, okay, can I make masks now? Like none of us gave a shit. We're like, we're not going for that anyways. We're just going for all of us. Like we literally, that's why we're doing that. It's an excuse to meet up.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be people there around the area anyways, and it's just like, well, if you're around the area and you are going to TwitchCon or not, just like fucking let's meet up, grab a drink.
That's how I got to meet another thing you guys got to come through for if you can is E3 was so fun.
Was it?
And the cool thing about E3 was, well, one, I didn't know this, we got to play Iceborne there. It was the first time Iceborne was playable, because Iceborne was first playable ever at Gamescom.
Nightside was there, right?
Yeah, that's how I met Nightside and Pointy and a bunch of the LA peeps. And I was hanging out with them. Elise was there. I was hanging out with a bunch of like people were there, and then a lot of the New York crew came as well, and Sammy came as well, and that was a lot of fun. And then that's when Socks was like, "Yeah, we're taking all of you out with the company card." And we were like, "Word?" Yeah, and then, I don't know. I think he like, I don't know who made the decision, but I think it was like, honestly, a lot of the first Capcom creators were at that dinner. It was like Vampy was there.
Hell yeah.
Just like a lot of, honestly, like I felt like one of the smallest people there, low key. It was a bunch of like people they had networked with. So Socks was like, you're coming. And it was like a Capcom dinner, and we all got Korean barbecue together.
That's awesome.
Oof.
But even aside from that, just hanging out with everyone in LA was super cool.
That's awesome.
I mean, that's why we need these events is just an excuse to meet up, right?
Yeah,
but like
for
you don't even need that. I think it's just like people are a lot. I know this like for myself too. I'm a lot more comfortable meeting people that I've only ever met like on the internet in a public forum, right?
Yeah.
Like like it's super scary to like put yourself out there to like meet friends. Like the first time that I ever did that, I went with one of my friends who had already met all of them. So I knew I wasn't at least going to get like, murdered. But it was at least nice that I had someone else there that like I knew. And then, the first time that I ever did this where I had never met any of them, and my first time like that I was meeting them was going to be, at an event, was when I did DreamHack Atlanta in 2019. Okay. I had known these people for less than a year. And I drove from Florida to Atlanta, Georgia, picked up one of them at their house, and stayed with like 4 other people in a hotel room who I'd never met before.
I've done that
only
too.
Known from online. And I like, my mom was like, "Are you sure you're not going to get murdered?" And I was like, "If I do, I do."
It's with friends. If I did, it's with friends. Jeez.
And so like it's always so weird to like put yourself out there and like do that, because like these are parasocial interactions, right? Like even this right here is a parasocial interaction. Like you're never gonna know like how well you mesh with someone outside of this kind of like content creator sphere, and outside of the comfort. Outside of the comfort of the internet, right? Because at least here, if I piss off Skoj, he can just leave the call. And then that conversation is done, and that's gone forever. But like you go into an event, you're spending like $1,000 to like go to an event and like stay somewhere, and you have to stay with these people for like 3 days. What if you hate one of them? Skoj, what if you hate me in the Airbnb?
That's highly
probable. Gonna do?
I'm kidding.
Show for the next podcast and like, hey, it's just me today. Don't worry about the other
guy. What other guy? Go back to all the videos and just censor me out.
My God,
that's awesome that you guys are going to meet with people, because it's a lot. Well, for you, Skoy, is this the first time since the Festa that you are meeting up with people in the community?
Yeah,
Nice.
actually. So it was like, that's why I found like probably PAX and stuff to be pretty boring for me, because like there wasn't really, I wasn't really going there to meet people. Well, I was, but like, and to network and kind of go around and explore. But it was kind of like PAX is kind of the same every year.
It really is, yeah.
The
only I would go every year, but literally like with my friends. Like we would just go
exactly
to hang out with each other.
It's an excuse to hang out.
The fun part was always like the
seeing the new games,
and then like the Acer after party that they always do. Like you just go and just get trashed at the Acer after party, or whatever after party that they have. But yeah, you guys are gonna have a lot of fun. But I agree. It definitely helps if like Capcom is also facilitating like events that bring people together. And I don't know, in my eyes, it was super successful. I don't know if it was like a commercial loss for them or something with the open bar or something.
It might be.
That might have been.
I think so. I honestly think so, because like the tickets were incredibly cheap. You got it like in your goodie bags. Like that was like, it was a $20 ticket.
Dude. Yeah,
you were telling me about that.
So much.
Yeah.
And then they had like snacks and stuff, and yeah, I don't know.
That's
like
the problem with the festas that I always saw, because I always like the World Festa and the Iceborne Festa. I always looked at them, especially when they did them in the West, as an advertisement. They're literally doing it to sell copies of the game. Yeah, because they know people. They know it's not. It's not a PAX. It's not like anything else. It's an incredibly niche audience. Iceborne has pushed it outside of that, and now there's this huge, cult following all over the internet for Monster Hunter games. And I think when people get a lot more comfortable, and we have just smarter people and smarter event planning around the pandemic, and when those kind of issues start to subside a little bit more, and it makes event planning easier. I genuinely think we'll see Festas come back. The only reason I don't think we're seeing them now is because they couldn't do one for Rise, and so they don't want to do one for Sunbreak. Right, just as like a consistency thing. And it just feels like they don't need to. So that's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking. If they're gonna do one, it's gonna be in a year or two for MH6, and that'll be sick. That'll be awesome. That would be amazing. That'd be such a good way to just hone the community back, especially because of everyone's bloated expectations for what MH6 is going to be, because everyone's just like, it's going to be World 2, it's going to be better than Sunbreak, and it's going to fix all my problems with the game, and it's going to be the perfect thing, and it's going to be Stories 3, and then I'm going to be the only person that's happy about it.
I'm excited for that. Stories 2 is fantastic.
Stories 2 is so good. Sunbreak is so good. If we want to talk about Sunbreak, also by the way, whenever you guys, I don't know how the time constraint is. If I'm rambling or whatever time wise, you guys.
We're good.
Give me a word.
You're cheap, man.
Cool.
Skull, yeah, that one we're done.
All right, it's over. Just cover up then. What was I gonna say? Fuck. Oh, Sunbreak. Dude, Sunbreak. If we can talk about Sunbreak for a bit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Sunbreak.
Well, wait, finally, an hour and a half in. Oh, never mind.
No, the last thing. When MH6 comes out, Jeremy, I want you to be the top speedrunner in the goddamn scene.
Do it.
I want to see those
the top speedrunner now. Dude, I keep setting a record, and like a week later somebody breaks it. I'm so mad. I've had record in World, I've had record in Rise, and I've had record in Stories too. And within a week, every single one of those has been broken. And I'm just like, no, stop it. But no, I
believe gonna reclaim it.
Speedrunning is like, that's the collaborative effort, right? And like I never go for like world record. I go for my personal goals. I met it with World. I gotta stop with that game. I've been playing it for 3 years nonstop. It's been such an unhealthy obsession. I gotta stop. Rise has been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I've gotten my second weapon under a 110, and now I'm trying to get it to a 105, and that'd be really cool. 103 is world record, and I have a 104 with Switch Axe, so we're getting there.
Oh, nice.
Let's go.
Yep. So,
yeah, man.
but that's like that's like the thing. Like the end all be all isn't to get a world record, at least for me. The end all be all is to create a strong competitive community, and we have it there, especially when the top runners are from the US, Mexico, and Japan, right? Like,
oh, that's awesome.
That's sick.
Yeah,
cool.
Dude, it's grown so much.
I expect to see you in the top echelon for MH6.
I expect to see you in top 5 on Rise when I finally make this freaking tutorial.
Oh, I was about to ask if you got any like starting resource. Dude, I do.
I have starting resources. I'll throw them at you. Yeah,
please do.
Someone else in the community made themselves like a step-by-step like guide and like a bunch of notes. It's a good starting spot. Okay. I'm trying to make a tutorial because I know people like videos a lot more, like to be able to see it rather than reading it. Yeah, especially with a game like this, like the route is very visual. It's really hard to say like take a left at the rock and jump over this hill and grab the wire bug here. Like it's really hard to say that, but
it's just the John Travolta meme. I'm like, what rock is he talking about? Is it this one? That'd be me, because I remember looking at the notes for World. Okay, so the thing about this will be quick. The thing about the World speedrun, it's been, like you said, it's been years. I still, for the life of me, get lost in Ancient Forest. I don't know what it is about that map.
I still do.
I am. What the fuck? Like I can't navigate that. Like
what's really funny. Oh, go ahead. Actually.
I was just gonna say, once they added the, I used to call them the little Ubers. Once they added the rider to just take, that was the only way. That was the only way I could navigate that map. I'm like, you know what? Take me to the monster. Take me to the monster, because I don't know how to get there.
Oh my gosh!
So what was really funny is that the current world record holder, which I still need to verify his run, Greenspeed, him and I have been working like really hard on the speed run. So like now he's gotten a 2 hours 31 minutes. Xeno percent, which is insane. Like we thought the barrier was gonna be a 235, and sure enough we keep pushing it lower and lower. But he developed a new strategy because we never captured Great Jagras. So he developed a new strategy to capture Great Jagras, and it requires finding this like little itty bitty alcove underneath Camp 11. Like, you know, in Ancient Forest, the sub camp that's on like the north or like the east side of like the map. Yes. Where you jump down, like there's like a bunch of like the vine platforms and stuff, and, like the vines you can climb up and down. There's a bunch of caves on the sides of those walls, and every resource that we needed to capture early was right there. We're like, well, we can't. We can't.
There's like thunder bugs there and stuff, right?
There's ivy.
Really?
And ivy.
There's ivy for a pitfall trap early, because we can get a net we can get a spider web pretty early, but we couldn't get that ivy. We're like, where the hell is there ivy in the Ancient Forest? And he's like, I found it. It saves a minute and a half. It's like, wow, okay.
That's
really good.
So now like 3 years after the game came out, we had a new strategy to cut out a minute in the speed run. It was insane.
And that's just a cool aspect, I think, of speedrunning in general. Like so I've never really sped run myself, but I love watching speedruns. GDQ is so fun. I used to really enjoy watching I think some of my favorite speedruns were Halo 2. I like the Halo 2 speedrun.
Such a cool one.
Wait, there was a challenge recently for to see if anyone can get like all the skulls or something.
There's been a bounty. It was either for Halo 2 or Halo 3, but it's someone did it. It's Lasso Deathless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find that one really fun. Obviously Mario Sunshine, Mario 64, super classic.
Sunshine 64. If you like those, watch the Mario Odyssey speedrun recently.
I have not.
Barrier was broken for that. There's a huge like 2 minute barrier that was broken for new world record for Darker Side. It's insane.
Yeah, I gotta check. I love Mario. The Mario speedruns are always like nuts.
They're
I used to watch fucking like Siglemic way back then.
Yeah.
And Cheese and stuff and Puncation and stuff like that. But yeah, speedrun. I just find it like, and it's interesting because probably back then, with where my mental was at, I probably couldn't have handled it. I would get too stressed, rage, all that shit. I feel like I could probably handle speedrunning now. Yeah. I'm still gonna get annoyed, but at least I'll have the healthier foundation.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be able to blow it off a lot easier.
Yeah, and like just recover and get back into it. But no, please definitely send me those resources, or like when you put the video out, I will be fucking front row and center, because I am interested. Like I was interested in World, but I think the timing just didn't work out, and I had other things going on.
And World is such a hard one to really optimize. It's not a comfy one, and especially back then, no cutscene skip. You're literally sitting there for an hour and 3 minutes just.
Yeah, you did that World speed run on like vanilla, like day one World.
Version 1.0, the August 9th release for PC. Yeah, I did that a couple days ago, and it took 6.5 hours.
God damn.
I've never done that run.
Trooper.
I've never done that run before, and that was awful. No adjustments, no fixes, no Iceborne changes, nothing. And damn. That was terrible. And I'm literally, this is what I hate about World 2. Like any speedrun video for World always gets a copyright strike on YouTube. I'm literally waiting here for the copyright claim to be lifted. Because those stupid acronym companies that claim just random music whenever they want has made a claim on this one on behalf of Capcom. And I've checked with Capcom hundreds of times and gone is this a legitimate thing?
Rurikon was also talking about it.
I think I saw something about this on Twitter. That is
I tweet about I was tweeting about it when I was like really on my World grind, because it was every video, and I was like, y'all need to do something about this, because so there's the opening cutscene on the Japanese account that always gets caught that they finally got rid of. So that claim is gone now forever.
I saw people doing something in the beginning, like muting it or just putting something like
what Shepard used to do was just start the video like 5 minutes later,
right after
all those cutscenes. He did it from weapon selection, like for verification. He said that was fine as long as he gave us the Twitter or Twitch VOD too, so like it worked out. But I found out that you can just dispute that claim and they will release it. So I was like, all right, cool.
Oh, so, sick. Okay.
But now that one was from the Japanese like Capcom account. That one's gone. So, but we still get like these random like video game music claims from these like automated like, you know, it's like AUSCPL3 or claimed this World song, and I'm just like, they don't own it. Capcom does.
Who are you?
Every time. Yeah. So and if you ever get a claim like that on your videos, this is for anyone. 1, research it. 2, reach out to the developer. It was as simple as, hey, at Capcom USA, is this a legitimate claim? And then I got 3 responses back. Nice. 1 from Capcom USA and 2 from community managers saying, no, it is not. You can go ahead and dispute it. It's not from us. It's a fake claim. Because that's what they do. They put out like these like automated like claims systems, which is YouTube. This is broken, and they will refuse to fix it. But anyone can make a claim on anything.
They have been actively like actually trying to. It's just really hard to.
Well, the problem is that anyone can make a claim.
Yeah.
I can make a claim that the song that Herny made and put out a YouTube video actually belongs to me on behalf of somebody else. And I can just make that claim. And if you publish that video and you never dispute it, I'm going to make part of your ad revenue on that. Like, I'm going to make part of your revenue on that. And for a lot of people, like especially a lot of smaller creators, they don't go out of their way to do that. And it either gets like demonetized or gets unlisted or it gets profit shared. And they lose out all this money, and it goes to this company, this copyright claim company on behalf of the person who actually owns it, when they have no legal obligation or ability to do that whatsoever.
It's annoying with YouTube.
Oh my gosh,
I used to be relentless in my young YouTube days. I'd get a copyright, and you know how you can dispute it and stuff. I'd be like, no, I got the song from you. Like I would be rude as fuck. I'd be so rude.
I got the song from iTunes.
But I got it from LimeWire. Yeah, it's on my computer.
I remember like channels where like they covered the song would be claiming it. I'm like, this isn't their cover. Like, this is the actual song. Like, get out of here. And then I would win the disputes. It was really funny. I wouldn't even do it in a formal way. I would literally just be like, no, it's not there. And sometimes it would work.
And that's a product of their auto claim system, because they don't expect a creator, and this is fair, but they don't expect a creator to go on to YouTube and check every single video to make sure that their content isn't featured in it.
Yeah.
And so they give creators the ability to auto claim certain videos. So if you make a song, if you produce a cover, or if you have a very unique video that you don't want it to be reproduced or regurgitated elsewhere, you can set up the auto claim for it, and then the algorithm does it for you.
Yeah.
But when there's a song in there, it then copyright claims the song, and then now it's just the whole issue. And
so you're saying I can't put "What Do You Mean" by Justin Bieber in some of my videos on Monster Hunter covering Guys with Gorm?
You absolutely can. Legally, I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know the copyright.
Imagine A pop song for a big
J
monster.
Beebs making music, making money off that Gaius Magorm video.
Oh my god.
Speaking of Gaius Magorm, I think Sunbreak is fantastic.
It's great, especially with this update. Really love the update, honestly. Like, I know a lot of people are not really a big fan of the augment system, but like I really think it's a lot better than what we got for like Safi and KT.
Yeah, I was about to, as we were talking about getting back on the grind, I've been just like scripting up some videos that like just to have them ready to put out later. But I was talking about the title update, but in the recording, I basically say the same thing. I think the Curio, I was seeing like a lot of different opinions about it on the Twitter, and I think it's fine. I like it. I'm getting a kick out of rolling and seeing like what new stat I get on my boots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think Sunbreak is really, really good. Like, one thing I'll definitely say is that I think it's too early for me to say how I feel about the game, where it stacks up. Like in the whole series, because in the greater scheme of it, it's still it's super early.
Still not finished.
We're like still in the honeymoon phase, if anything, because we just got a title update. But I think something I can definitely say concretely is that as an expansion, I think it's one of the stronger expansions we've gotten, because I feel like usually the jump from the high rank game to the G rank game is like, it's substantial, but it isn't like too crazy. Like if base world was like a 7 out of 10, these numbers are arbitrary. Anyone who listens to this, don't attack me.
Attack him. Do it.
What do you mean? It's a 10 out of 10. Sunbreak sucks. Here's my 10-hour video.
It's a response.
Herny on his opinion.
There's like a response day one after this gets posted. Like if World was like a 7 out of 10, then Iceborne was an 8 out of 10. Like if it was like kind of it was what I expected.
As far as that like difficulty ramp.
And just things they added, like overall enjoyment, like the jump was there. Same thing with Generations. Like if Generations was like here, then Gen Ultimate was like here. It's like what I expected. But the jump from Base Rise to Sunbreak is insane. Like I don't think we've had a quality of jump between the high rank game to the expansion in this caliber. Because like if Base Rise was a 4 out of 10. Again, whatever.
No, but I would agree. Go on.
Right.
That's my number.
But
if we were to assign an arbitrary value from 1 to 10 based on enjoyment, Rise might be arbitrarily a 4.
Arbitrarily a 4. Yeah. There's a reason I said 4 as well. But if Rise was a 4 out of 10, then Sunbreak honestly is like an 8, maybe pushing 9.
That's great.
10. Like the jump. I don't think we've had a jump this big.
No. Yeah, because
just in terms of
and content,
content,
like type of content,
the
monsters.
The hunt.
This is what I was saying. Is like there's a really good roster for this game, and I was complaining in Rise that there was no reason that you should legitimately go back and hunt anything else other than like Narwa, Ibushi, and Basil Geese, and like that was like the only monsters that you were fighting because you were on the charm grind, right? That was the only grind in Base Rise, and so those are the 3 monsters that you could do it the fastest with. And I was like, but you have all these monsters, you have no reason to go back and fight.
No reason.
And Curious Crafting has given us literally every reason to just go fight everything from Great Azuchi all the way to Gaius Magorm.
Even Kulu. Kulu.
You need pelts. You need pelts for the level 1 attack augment on your weapons. Go have fun. There's a reason why Great Azuchi is set to 1 and you want to get that boy to 80.
Yep.
Have fun. You have, and then you have to do that 4 times for all of the bird wyverns.
Oh god! But it's like, oh sorry.
You first.
I feel like they also have like a good thing to go off of, because it's just like I feel like Iceborne was their like test run. They're just like we're gonna throw these in here. We're gonna like throw in they had investigation since like World, but they had
since World,
so I would say like World and Iceborne is like their test run. They're like, we're getting more into like the modern way of like thinking with the video games and stuff. Like how do we go about that? They have like the
live service,
what was that island,
time-based events.
Iceborne, there was a part of the game where you kind of just grind. You can stay there forever if you want.
Guiding Lands.
Oh yeah,
goodness, go away.
But like, there's stuff like that.
I forgot what it was called too for a second.
Yeah. But like, it's like stuff like that they're kind of just like throwing in just to be like, this is a lot of fun. We can see if this works.
They tried a lot of stuff with
They
World.
did.
I just want they put everything out there, and they looked at what one thing that I really appreciate about Capcom, and I guess about the Monster Hunter team is like they really look at like what people are saying for sure.
Yeah, they really do.
They absolutely do.
Some of the changes from World to Iceborne were like direct replies to people. Like I'm sure. And yeah, like they see what works, they see what doesn't work, and you can't say that about. I mean, obviously we're all like fans of the game, so we're probably slightly biased, but you can't say that about like a lot of games and a lot of about the people behind it. Like they really kind of really look into like what we're enjoying, what maybe did not really work and felt tedious. And I think Sunbreak definitely, I think it's panning out to be, at least to me, a really solid end game. I think a lot of people were asking me on the stream like, how do I feel about the end game? And I was like, I'll talk about it in a video. Y'all are getting a little sneak preview of my thoughts right now in the podcast. But I think, I mean, like, here's the thing about me. I'm a simple man. There doesn't even have to be an end game in Monster Hunter. I'm just gonna kill shit but I recognize that I am easily entertained, and like I'm probably in the smaller minority. I know a lot of people in Rise were like, "What's the end game?" To me, I'm just like, I don't know, just playing and having fun is the end game for me. But I know that I understand
satisfy everyone.
So to have like something like Sunbreak, I'm having a blast so far. Like I'm having a good time. We're like not. I mean, I just got to the end game really, and then the title update came out. So I'm kind of glad that I'm always so behind because I didn't make a bunch
more
of sets.
Stuff. Yeah,
only to have to change them all. And that's what happened with World. Like just as I got to the end game, Behemoth came out, so I was like, oh bet I can just change everything. And
then
that became the gear for the rest of the game.
And I'll talk about that in a second too, but I appreciate that. What the fuck was I about to say? Oh yeah, I'm enjoying this end game more than World, honestly. And it just
good.
started.
Yep, and that's good.
In terms of just like mechanically what the end game does to the game, I think it's really, really good because there's so much variety. Like there's like, and it's so funny because like as I've become a bigger streamer, I've definitely gotten lazier. Like I definitely I'm like, chat, what do I make? Like it's so funny. That's what I do.
That's all you gotta say.
I'm like, chat, just send me some sets, and they send me some sets. They're great. I love my community. Shout out to my community. They just hit me up on Discord and they give me bow sets. They give me whatever I'm looking for. But I like
the real
that
MVPs.
with Sunbreak. I've been like, guys, like what do I make? And then they're like, well, nobody knows. Like, but there's also like so many options. And there's like, it's not like, because in the past with World, it was like, oh, just fucking make this one mix set. It's just like the one thing, and just make this one great sword or this one this. And I like that. I genuinely like that. I've asked, but there's so many things and there's so many different sets and there's a lot of different ways to put out really good damage. And then like status is popping off with the.
I literally made.
It's crazy.
I literally made a 4A status trigger counterattack or not counterattack. What was the adrenaline rush? The Lucent stuff. It's a mix set with the Lucent arms and 2 Rathian parts. So you get like 4A, which when the monster has a status effect, like, I don't know, what's something crazy, poison, you do more damage.
I call it 4A.
Status trigger, when you dodge, you deal more abnormal damage. And then you get adrenaline rush too. Yep. It's like I built this set last night. I was like, okay, this is kind of nutty. And I'm using that over like what's considered the meta like raw switch axe build right now. And I'm like, no, this is just more fun.
Yeah, there's just
crazy.
Like this is doing kind of what people have wanted, which we haven't had for a minute. Just different avenues to do really good damage. Because what would happen, and I feel like it happens a lot in World, is like there was a lot of cool things in World. There's a lot of cool skills. There's a lot of different things, but it just kind of got outmatched by Master's Touch, crit boost, crit. You know what I'm saying?
Because you could fit it all.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Even looking at like base world,
Mhm.
even looking at like base world though, like we had that problem where it was just, I mean, it was just power creep after power creep, their power creep as you continued, because there's one viable way to play, and it was raw, right?
Mhm.
And so since now there's so many different options and so many different ways that everything works, and we do feel like we have this like give and take with skills now. It's like, oh, there's a lot of different ways that we can do it.
Like there's nothing more that I'll reverse it. There's nothing more unfortunate than like starting a new, when we start a new game and we're like, we beat the monster, we immediately go look at its armor, see what skills it has. Yeah. There's nothing sadder than like reading a cool new skill, like, whoa, this is wild, and then never seen that shit in any mix set ever used ever. Yeah. Because I feel like that's what happens a lot in World and Iceborne. It even happened a bit in GU. I love GU to death.
Yeah, no, it happens.
There's
a lot
of there's a lot of skills that we don't use. We just we go for the classic stuff. There's just a lot of
because Silverwind exists. Why do anything else when Silverwind exists? Like, I mean, come on, just build full Silverwind. Done.
Like a lot of Wex. A lot of critical eye, a lot of Wex, a lot of crit boost, Challenger +2. Like it's the same. Most of the mix that you see, it's the same thing. Even the gunners are using the same thing, and they just add like pierce, like whatever shot up they need for that ammo type. But one really cool thing about Sunbreak is that during my playthrough, I would read a skill and I'd be like, oh, this looks really solid. I could see this being strong. Like I remember reading Dereliction and being like, yeah, this looks good. People are going to use this. And then lo and behold, like I'm looking at speedruns and it's like one of the main things. Like a lot of the cool stuff that I've been seeing, that I saw during my playthrough, I'm seeing being used at like its highest capacity, like using foray and the status trigger together. That is like shit that you theory craft and then like you make for fun, but holy hell, it actually works. Because I used to
this thing's putting out numbers.
Because you would theory craft and put stuff together in the past, but it was like you're losing out to crit.
Exactly.
You're losing out to other stuff.
And now it's just crazy.
The fact that it's actually solid. Yeah. And all of that to say is that I think all of that is attributed to the end game being so varied. There's a lot of different things to try skill wise, and there's reasons to hunt other things. Which in the past, I used to forget that Toby was in World. I used to forget that remember Great Gyros? Remember Great Gyros?
Oregon?
Dodogama. I'm sure
like Dodogama. Like he's been like overshadowed completely.
I'm sure as we're seeing,
you gotta remember you're talking to the guy that's played World hundreds of times over and over again. I'm listening to him like, what are those monsters? Never fought hundreds of them before.
For sure. Yeah, I'm sure for people who like just kind of stayed at the end game of World and or Iceborne, they're like, oh, holy shit, forgot about those guys. And
there's no reason to.
Yeah. And I love that too, because I feel like there is a lot of character and style to those earlier goons.
Yeah.
And it's like there's a lot of character to Puke and like even the crabs, and I'm glad that the crabs are relevant and actually strong.
I hated them.
My first death in my playthrough was to Shogun Senator. He destroyed me.
I hated them back in the older generations, like the in GU. Absolutely hated them. But like in Sunbreak, holy shit, they're fun. Like I saw them getting announced at like the different directs, and I was like, great, getting them now. Crabs, like like not many people were excited for it, but then actually playing the game, I'm just like, this is so much fun. They're great. Fun.
Yeah, they put up a fight too.
Dude, wyvering them is like you're zooming. It's funny.
But
to go back to something that you were talking about, right? Like the variability in mix sets and stuff like that. I always thought it was really funny when World came out, because like I always liked RX's Mix Set Monday videos. I love those. I've been watching them since 4U. So like watching them through 4U and then like Gen and then Gen U, like seeing these mix sets, and they're all like pretty viable options. Like a lot of the sets that I used in Generations I got from Mix Set Mondays, and it was really funny. He did 2 Mix Set Monday videos when World came out, and then that was it. And then said like, guys,
I remember
because everyone was submitting the exact same armor sets. Like like Nergigante and like Anjanath and like this piece and that piece. Like, okay, yep, we just want as much crit and attack boost, and like that's all we want. Like, all right, guys, there is no mix set meta in World.
But now
everybody looked the same. We all had the freaking Nergy legs and waist. Yeah. In the earliest parts of hiring.
Yeah.
All looked fucking.
It was all the same stuff. Yep.
We all looked the same.
But I was like, okay, so like obviously Iceborne's gonna fix that, right? Nope, even worse. Made it even worse. Every title update was the next power creep. Every title update was just the next mix set. It's like, damn it, man. They really. But Sunbreak has done a really good job, and I think it really I think it really comes down to the variability and the balance of the skills and what's available on what. Because I thought it was like kind of insane. I was like looking at base rise. I was like, oh my gosh, like these sets have as many skills as master rank sets in Iceborne. Like some of our speedrunners are doing sets that look like Fatalis gear. I was like, this is nuts. But in this game, it actually works out really well when you start looking at like level 60 plus anomaly investigations and things have 180 to 200,000 health, and you're like, oh, I actually do need to do this much damage because it's going to take 15 minutes to kill it. So but it really just comes down to like how they balanced out and like what they gave different armor pieces and the variability of your talisman, and then like that's really like where set building like kind of comes into play, because then after that, like anomaly augments on your armor, that's just extra. Right. And I haven't been doing a lot of that stuff because I like set building within the confines of what I have. And then I kind of do it a little bit. I'm not like too thrilled on it. And it's mostly from a perspective of a speedrun moderator.
Right.
We have no idea how to moderate this stuff, dude. We don't. The sanity check for this thing sucks. We don't know what's legal yet. Still, we're trying to like make our own rules for it, kind of. But right now, it's just like, yeah, guys, have fun, do whatever you want. We're gonna try and verify it. And so you get people like editing it and modding it, and then they have like Agitator 4 on something, and it's like, but it passes sanity check. It's insane. And it's like the game just like, oh yeah, no, we don't mind. 4 levels of Agitator, that would actually never happen based on the randomization.
People are putting it on an armor piece, like
like their anomaly upgrade is 4 levels of Agitator, and that passes the sanity check in the game. But there's been a lot of like data mining and a lot of like the calculations and stuff that have been done, and the spreadsheet's changing literally every day from these people who we're finding out a little bit better about how it works. Because that was the thing, especially with talismans early on. Just because it passed sanity check didn't mean it was actually obtainable in the game. Right. Like there's a lot of charm combinations that pass the sanity check, but the RNG of the melding doesn't actually drop that. Like it doesn't exist anywhere in the game's anything. Like you can't obtain it by playing the game. So obviously those things are banned, right? Those things are impossible combinations, even though it passes sanity. The same thing's happening with anomaly armor now, but now it's slots, defense changes, resistance changes, additional skills, removed skills. Like there's actually like, if it removes a skill, it opens up new options. If it removes so much defense, it opens up new options. If it adds, if it already has 3 slots, then it can only upgrade those slots, versus if it has 2 slots and then it adds another slot, then now it can upgrade those slots even more. Like it's the rules that are behind the anomaly augmenting, because I think it's a really cool thing casually. It's been absolutely hell for the speedrun communities right now.
I've been seeing a lot of
we have no idea what to do.
I've been seeing a lot of speedrunners that I follow that are just like not really happy with that. That's what I'm saying. Like I personally am really happy with it, because I feel like it's really fun. You can mess around with sets and just like do different little things. But then with the speedrunning community, it's just like, how do you compete with someone that
Where do we draw the line?
How do you compete with someone that had good RNG for their armor set? Whereas,
or how do you compete someone that modded it in, but we can't tell, right? Because like you can mod in a legitimately possible combination, but that legitimately possible combination might be 0.0001% chance of actually getting it. Should that be legal? So the question comes down to, well, now we have two categories. We have one that allows curious crafting on the armor and talismans, and then we have one that bans curious crafting on the armor and talismans. So one that allows armor RNG and one that doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the test right now. But like even now, we're just having problems just verifying that these combinations are even possible. So
wait, you can augment talismans?
No, not augmenting it, but just no.
I was
you
gonna
can't
say.
augment the talismans. I was just saying like talismans as a whole.
Gotcha.
Like, because that's an RNG element too.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, like my best talisman is like it's something like a rapid morph 3 with a level 2 and a level 1. That's my best talisman. I love that thing. I use it in every set. But you can actually get like attack boost for rapid morph 2 and a 311 or 411, and it's like, well, that's a lot more skill efficient. And but what are the odds that you're actually going to get that? And they're incredibly low. You know, and so like
if it's all right,
it's possible to have that.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick if that's okay. I'm down to talk for a while. Like, oh, did you both say at the same time? Wait, what did you say?
I just said you're good.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I said you can't leave. Oh, who are you gonna listen to? Your co-host or the guest?
I'll cut myself in half and
favorite sunbreak hunt.
Sunbreak hunt. Up there. Oh, you want
favorite sunbreak hunt?
Favorite sunbreak hunt.
No thinking. First thought.
I like Scorned Magnamalo. My chat calls him. We keep replacing the words in his name for him and seething. Like I call him Divorced Magnamalo.
Divorce.
Someone in my chat was like audited Magnamalo.
I call him molding. Yeah.
Molding. Yeah. Yeah. No.
He's a fun fight.
He's really, really good. A lot of the later fights in Sunbreak, like they made some of the smaller goons a bit more threatening, but some of the later fights, I think I try to do this thing where I beat the G rank expansion while staying in high rank gear.
Oh wow!
Not the craziest challenge. I think a lot of people do it. I did it with Double Cross a while back. I did it with Iceborne. I was doing it with Rise, and I was like honestly doing fine until I got to Shigaru Magala.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I have this inside joke with my chat that he's actually the final boss of the game. Because like everything else I beat in the first try. I even beat Geismagorm on the first try. But dude, it took me... So Shigaru made me make G rank gear. I made G rank gear too. And I was about to put it on, but I was like, guys, I can beat him. I can beat him with high rank gear. I was being stubborn. But I made it. I put it in my box. I was like, if it takes me any more tries, I'll put on the G rank gear, because he was just destroying me. I was able to clutch it out.
There you go.
With hammer.
Let's go. Looks KOs.
But dude, Shigaru is a fantastic fight though. Like I was getting my ass.
Beautiful fight.
The fight is so good.
It's funny hearing that from both of you.
Yeah.
Because I've seen Jal's experience on his stream, like fighting against Shigaru when he was doing a speed run of like Sunbreak %. Oh my god!
Yep, I was going to talk about that.
Yeah, but go on.
I was going to bring that up because I did Sunbreak %, and everything was going really, really well until I got to Shigaru, and I triple carded to Shigaru, and it was mostly because I missed a weapon upgrade. I missed a Fey Wyvern gem, which drops from Tigrex, and I didn't realize that, and I skipped Tigrex as one of my key quests, so I had to go back and fight Tigrex to get it. And I got it on the first hunt, luckily.
Nice.
But I literally tripled to Shigaru, finally beat it without the upgrade, got to the next fight, which is literally Rajang, tripled to that. Both of those took me over an hour to do in the speedrun. I was so mad. 16 hours. I'm not even publishing the video onto YouTube because of just my attitude for the last 5 hours of that was so rancid. I was like so upset with myself, but it was a great stream. It was great stream content. But if I put that out there on YouTube, man, that's not good.
Dude, like I don't really get annoyed at games anymore. But I think the last thing that actually annoyed me was the dual Crucible Knights in Elden Ring, and then Melania. I was impressed with Melania. Yeah, dude. But dude, Shigaru was getting me there. I was like, I told my child, I was like, give me 1 second. I just like got up, I walked around a little bit, and I was like, I was like, I gotta relax. I'm actually like just frustrating myself. But then we beat him. No, he's tough. Like, what the heck? That's a really good fight. Valstrax, G rank Valstrax is nuts.
Oh my
like
gosh.
that. Like I eat for Moxie. I treat it like a. Like, you know how you kind of prepare for the big things like an EX quest or like an Arch Tempered. I treat like basic Valstrax like I'm doing something intense. Like I'm fully dialed in. I can't like autopilot a Valstrax. Like you will die. Yeah, that's really good.
Score is like fantastic. That.
No, that's good.
I don't like G rank Valstrax at all. I think all of his attacks have like insane amount of tracking, and then not to mention they all hit 3 or 4 different times. So like I play Switch Axe, so Switch Axe counter is the thing now, and like that's like your only defensive option anymore because you can't iframe through 4 attacks that last a second and a half.
The ambush comes in faster. The ambush comes in faster.
I keep fucking up the ambush as well. I'm trying to like counter it.
It does. Yeah, no, the ambush timing is different, but the fact that like every single attack like also leaves something to like explode in the ground and it one shots you. With Switch Axe counter, if you counter anything, you die. So I literally just can't do that. And then I also had evade window 5 and was trying to fight it, and you can't iframe through a single explosion with evade window 5. So it's like, so then what's the point? You have to position out of the explosion. It's so big. And Switch Axe's like main dodging is his side hop. You just side hop to immune it. No. And then also the stab and spin or the double stab. If you dodge the first one, you get hit with the second one.
Dude, okay, I was saying this. Okay, I'm glad I'm not crazy.
You're not.
You know,
you're not.
As you're talking about this, I'm just like, do I like Valstrax? Maybe I don't.
Thank you. It's freaking. It's the rose tinted glasses every time. Someone's like, "Oh, new monster is so much fun. It's so great." It's like, this fight sucks.
I definitely like the intense because like I even enjoyed like Lunastra. I just like when things are just like cartoonishly evil and hard. But dude, okay, I was telling my chat, I was like, the stab into spin was not this hard in GU. What is this?
No,
like even
there's apparently a safe spot. It's like this big. If he spins, like if he attacks and he spins to his right, you dodge left. And if he goes the other way, you dodge right. Like you dodge to the opposite side of where the spin starts. And if you hug that, apparently you don't get hit. Every time I try to do that, I just die instantly. So it doesn't matter.
I just get it. Like there was a notable blind spot in GU, and it was super easy to just be right there. You could damn near be holding a charge and get the head snipe once he was done. Like you could do you could finesse that a bunch of times. But yeah, like I get hit by that every time. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna counter it because I don't know how to dodge this.
See, this is why I couldn't in good faith let you say that you liked that fight when I knew when I just knew you had your frustrations with it.
I know. You knew. And obviously Gaius McCorm, fantastic final boss.
Oh yeah.
I think it's great. Neat. I don't like the first time that you do it. I don't like how scripted the first fight is. Because the second phase when it climbs, so the Wyvern artillery is scripted in the first phase. You have to pull it. If you don't pull it, the quest just doesn't progress.
Really?
Or it takes forever to progress because it's an HP gate, and the HP gate on it is huge, and that's supposed to eliminate that. So like progression wise, it'll just take forever if you never pull it.
Damn.
And then the second phase, he is scripted to do 3 climbs, and you can't topple him out of any of them because Fiorain's supposed to do it on the third climb.
Oh, that's right.
So you failing those over and over again, you aren't bad. That's just scripted. And then even on the repeat fights, the first time he climbs, he will always do the attack. The third one will not pop. It just won't.
Oh, okay.
It's HP gated.
Oh, really? Oh,
gotcha.
Every single time.
I used to think I just
after the first climb, you can topple him, and I hate that. I absolutely hate that. I'm okay with like the artillery phase. Like I think it's fun. I think it's unique. I think it's cool that they're like launching them in. I think it's kind of like weird in a sense because it's like the only place that it's used, and so I thought it'd be really cool if they use that like in other places. Like it would be really cool if like your Palico could do that like out in the field where like it calls and the ship just launches a ballista and it lands in the middle of the area that you're fighting. Like that would be really cool. You know, it's like we could see this like come up multiple times, so it's not just this like one thing that happens. But if it wasn't so scripted, I would like the fight a lot more. And if the arena was like I don't know, twice the size that it is right now, I would like to fight infinitely more too. I think
It could be a little
way
bigger.
too small.
It could be a little bigger, yeah, because he's so big.
Yeah,
he's huge. He's gigantic. But then I honestly think that was like a gripe that they heard from us in Sunbreak and Iceborne, because Shara, this really big monster, and the arena is way too big.
Yeah,
huge.
And so like it's these really weird paradigms where they're just like, it's either too big or too small. Like, you guys, somewhere in the middle. Like, you can do it. I believe in you.
If you want to talk about small, talk about Dalmador's arenas. That's pretty small.
But the Dalmador arena is like, you're supposed to fight on Dalmador. Like, that's the appeal of it.
He's like part of it,
yeah. You go up in that hunt. So I feel like that's like the good side about that. But it is really small though.
I mean, like, but he's also like not doing like area. Yeah, he's also like not doing like area wide like attacks, and like everything that he's doing is kind of designed for that.
Around the
Guys
map.
Magorm's spin is a third of the arena.
Yeah.
The runnies that he does that leaves behind the little red balls is the entire arena.
I hate that.
Okay.
I don't like his like arm slide thing either.
The arm slide is actually hilarious. I
hate it.
countered it once. With Switch Axe. I was like, oh dude, that was so cool. And then I turned the camera around and he's already coming back. And he's like, no! And he just runs me over.
But the song goes super
Oh my gosh,
so good. Holy shit.
I am waiting for the Sunbreak album to hit Spotify, because I'm just putting that thing on repeat. And
go to work, get home from work.
It's such good music, because like it's like Monster Hunter and D&D. It's like Monster Hunter like in medieval fantasy, and so it just tickles every part of my brain, and I love it.
It's so good.
The brain tickles.
My boys.
Yes,
I think I gotta call it there.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's probably a good spot.
One of these days, doesn't even have to be for the podcast. We got to talk some more stuff. We didn't even talk about anime.
No, I want to talk about Naruto so badly.
I was gonna say, when we were talking about speedrunning, that's how I feel. Like how you felt is how I feel when you guys start talking about anime.
Yeah, I know. Because I usually just hey.
I don't entirely mind, just because the last time I was on the Freedo podcast, that was like a chunk of that one as well.
We did a podcast actually with just you and I. It was like a interview podcast kind of setup thing.
Yes,
you and I were just talking, and I think we talked about Naruto for a bit there, because I saw your poster. I was like, Naruto.
Yes,
you're like, yes.
Which I still have. Yep.
Heck yeah. But yeah, with that, thank you so much, Herny, for coming on. Really do appreciate it.
Man. Absolute pleasure talking with you guys. It's been a minute. Yeah. I'm honestly in the same boat. I've been like kind of hermit mode, because when I'm not super active on the content stuff, I'm also just not talking to people as much. But you know, I'm lurking. I'm in y'all's streams. I'm here and there.
I appreciate
appreciated.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, thank you guys for having me. I'm proud of y'all's progress too. Keep it up with the speedrunning, keep it up with content, but to bring the central theme of, I think, this podcast forward, take care of yourselves, you guys listening and watching too. Like, do your stuff, grind, but take care of yourself first. And if you're doing good, if you're up, then everything else is gonna like be good too.
Hell yeah. And with that, make sure you guys check out Herny. Like, all of his links will be in the description below. What we usually do is like we reintroduce guests with another guest at some point. So if you're interested in that, we'd love to have you back.
Definitely.
Yeah, we'd love to talk about more anime.
For sure.
We can bring back Riku. We can just like have a whole anime.
That was like a whole anime podcast too. We absolutely could. I'll watch an anime and we can talk about that one.
Hell yeah. But thank you so much, and we'll see
thank you, man.
You guys in the next video. In the comments, let us know like your struggles with content creation. We would love to hear about it, and what you're like really hyped about with Sunbreak, and what you're excited with. So
you have 2 questions you have to answer this week.
Boom. But we'll see you all in the next one.
Everybody.
Bye.
Later.